The case was at the High Court. And after a prima facie case was determined and the accused were asked to open their defense, the now finance minister, together with Richard Jakpa, went to the Court of Appeal to contest that submission of no case. In fact, the judge at the High Court said there was a case to answer, but they went to the Court of Appeal and filed an appeal to that particular ruling of the High Court. And the case was traveling or going on at the High Court, and that is when last year we heard of some conversations between Jakpa and the former Attorney General, now former Attorney General. And these issues came up at the High Court. It was around that time that the Court of Appeal actually ruled on the submission of no case, and then set aside and actually said that the case should discontinue because they don't find any case for the accused to answer. Now Richard Jakpa comes a year later to say that indeed the conversations that we had, at the time the NDC was the one who actually published that particular conversation between Jakpa and the Attorney General then, and also talked about some conversations that had gone on in the home of a sitting Supreme Court judge, Justice Kolendi. Putting this into perspective, do you think that there is something more beyond finding the truth in here? When at least we have heard from the former Attorney General how he got to know Richard Jakpa, and we have also heard from Richard Jakpa himself based on the petition he's filed at the CID. Do you think that there is something more beyond what we know already that the police should be looking out for?
Are there issues beyond what has been put in the public domain over the period? What is coming up now is indicative of the fact that there could be some issues that the public is not aware of, as to if it will affect the ruling that have come up already. My take is not really to go back to court per se, but the truth ought to come out. It is truth that we seek. In other jurisdictions, there have been high-profile cases that even years later, they have been able to unearth the truth. So over here, it is not the fact that there is a former minister ought to be shamed or ought to be disgraced or anything like that. No, but the truth of the matter ought to come out, and that is where I'm coming from. United States Watergate scandal, some truth ought to have come out, and it was whistleblowers who brought up the whole case and became big that we do now. If an individual feels that there had been conversations, there had been, and as I read, some recorded conversations that affected or influenced the way the case ran in court, then I think that it is important that the truth comes out. And if it is criminal in nature, why not? Crime never expires. So in this case, if it is indeed a case that it is the Jakpa is just being malicious, then the truth ought to come out. If it is indeed a case that the former Attorney General indeed influenced the way things went in court, then the truth ought to come out.
I think I asked you this question earlier, but let me rephrase it and ask it again. Is it not inconsequential? Because the case that was in court was at the High Court was to prosecute him. Now the Court of Appeal says the case should not even have started in the first place. So everything that had happened during the processes in court, I mean, is inconsequential. It's no longer significant to the outcome of the case. So if during the course of the trial there were conversations between the accused, one of the accused, and the former the then Attorney General, then how does it affect? It didn't affect the outcome of the case in any way. Why are we still pursuing it?
it might not affect the case because, well, there has been a ruling by the appeal court. Once the appeals court, they've given a ruling, that ruling will stand until proven otherwise. But the thing is that if a minister of state then is being accused of influencing a high-profile case in Ghana, should the people of Ghana not know the truth? In this case, did the former minister abuse his office as Attorney General? An Attorney General, a Minister of Justice, the portfolio, I wouldn't say that the judiciary comes under him, but that is what he was supposed to do. Control over the justice system of Ghana. And if such a person holding that portfolio is calling persons involved in cases and is alleged to have influenced the way the case traveled, then I think that it is important that we get to know the truth. It might not take the case back to court, but if it is a case that there was abuse of office, then that is a new case that can come up. And in this, I think that the truth ought to come out. Once the truth comes out and someone has to suffer for the sake of Ghana, why not? Alfred
Thompson joins us in studio. Welcome, Alfred.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I am well. So we are talking about some of your members who accompanied the former Attorney General to the CID last Monday. Why did we see some 70 lawyers join the former Attorney General to answer questions or assist in investigations? Why do you need 70 lawyers?
Good morning, and good morning to our listeners. I hope the Saturday finds everyone well. And I believe that once we are up and kicking, the day will go as it should. If you have a situation where someone wants to pack a court with over 41 judges, you have to also check your back. You have friends, you have well-wishers, you have people who believe in you, and they believe that what you did or what you've done is right. And we've seen what has been going on over these few, let's say 10 months, 9 or 10 months since this government took over. And the mere fact that they orchestrated, they made their mind, and they stated that they were going to take a Chief Justice out, and they did it. You don't want to walk into their hands like a loose cannon or someone who doesn't know what he's about, for you to go and be treated like what is happening to Wontumi and Abronye today. You have to go prepared. So if his friends and all those well-wishers have agreed, 70 of them agreed to accompany him to the courts or to the CID head office, I think it's in his best interest. Because even when they started the case, we saw what was going on. We saw how, in a nice way, they were pinning and trying to push him as an Attorney General at that time. They were doing so many things. If he had struck at that time, maybe the country would have been in chaos today. But he used his brains and he decided that, listen, let's let the judiciary take their own course. He was invited by a senior person, a senior lawyer, a friend, to his house. And all of a sudden, he goes there and there sits one of the people who were to be part of the case. And that is all when this hula baloo started. But he took his time, he took his due, and he made sure that, the process took its course. I would say when you are dealing with people who have planned to destroy you, you should be very, very cautious. You shouldn't take it for granted.
Do you think this is a plan to destroy him?
But what's the use of this?
Are you saying that Jakpa doesn't have any case now?
Let's assume that they've finished this case.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has gone on well. At the end of the day, in fact, even you, who were not in government by that time and are claiming that the courts are working for the people in government, you got a case on your side. Mm-hmm. The sitting Attorney General at that time did not bite or shout or say that, no, this is against the principles of law or anything. He took it as it is.
He filed an appeal. There was an appeal.
Where did it land? When there is a judgment, usually appeals are formalities, as I see it. Because if they've given you a judgment, they've given you a judgment. They've given you a judgment. And so if even as a certain attorney general, let's assume or let's say that as we saw it, he lost the case. What is your problem? What else do you want?
The truth, Dr. Amanor said.
You think right now because you're in government you can twist arms and get things on your side?
The truth, because is this not supposed to work also in the favor of Godfred Dame? Because when the NDC at the press conference last year released the audio of the conversation between himself, Dame, and Jakpa, it formed some perceptions in the minds of Ghanaians that how is it possible that the Attorney General who is prosecuting a case is having conversations with the accused.
And that's why I give you the scenario, how it got to that point.
Now, if the charge has, the Court of Appeal has discharged and acquitted him, and Jakpa now raises questions or raises an issue with how the conversations went, and says that the CID should investigate. Is that not supposed to work in favor of Dame, so that if it comes out that truly there was nothing malicious about the conversations, it will exonerate him forever?
The CID should investigate what?
That's indeed. So this is what he sent to the CID, that Godfred Dame attempted to influence his testimony to incriminate Dr. Forson.
Okay. How did he meet Godfred Dame?
From what Dame has told the media,
and from what everyone knows,
through Justice Kulendi.
Yeah. Godfred Dame did not just walk to Justice Kulendi's house. He was invited. And when he got there, what happened? There was Jakpa sitting there. If Godfred had known that Jakpa was there already, he might not have gone. Because for you to even go there, or go and influence, go and talk to your uncle, Justice Kulendi, and then he says, okay, let me try and invite him and see. Invites the Attorney General to his house, and you have the essence or the mind to even record him, means that you have everything planned. He came there with a clean heart and a clean hands.
The recording was not done in fact, the recording that we heard that was played at the press conference of the NDC last year was not the conversations at the home of Justice Kulendi. It was on a phone conversation with Godfred Dame.
You know the recordings that maybe he's done at the home?
That we don't know.
That's why I'm saying that.
Is that not the more reason why the CID should investigate?
Even if you have a mind to record someone, to me, I think you are criminal.
Is that so?
Because if I'm talking to you, how would you feel if I'm talking to you today after here, and everything we say between the two of us, I record you? How would you feel? Can you have that trust? Then means that you have a preconceived mind that this is what I want to do to make sure that I destroy this person. So let him be. Let him do what he wants to do. Let him do his worst. I believe that the truth will always prevail. The truth will always prevail. If you think you can just take one day, or you can take power to destroy someone, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. The truth will always come out. And at the right time, everything will be spilled on the table.
Speaking of the right time, and regarding this particular case or petition before the CID, we've seen that Godfred Dame has gone to the CID, honored that invitation. The two most important other people to this case is Justice Kulendi and then Richard Jakpa. We don't know whether he has been.
Haven't we heard that someone has filed something against Justice Kulendi to be taken off the bench? Haven't we heard that? I said the drama would unfold.
Are you expecting Justice Kulendi to be invited by the CID?
Let's wait and see.
Because we have heard, what the point I'm making is, we've heard from Jakpa. Jakpa filed the case. Godfred Dame has gone to the CID. The other person of interest in this case, who would establish exactly what happened, is Justice Kolindi. Should he also be invited by the CID to help the case?
I wouldn't want to preempt anything for the CID. I'd love to see how they would unfold their own case. Then I'll take a judgment from there. I wouldn't preempt them to do anything. I would wait and see what they intend to do. Then I can take my case from there. Because if I preempt and they go and do it, or they don't go and do it, then it means that I show them what to do. I would wait and see. And I would wait and see how the interrogation goes for any person involved in this.
But we don't see what is happening there.
You would know.
In interrogation, how would you know?
When people go, they come out and say what happened.
No.
When they see that there's a strategy to pin someone down, when they come out, they say it. I mean, people go and come out and they tell you that, this was the line of questioning, and this is what I think they are up to.
Have you had any interaction with some of the lawyers who accompanied Godfrey Dame?
Not yet. 70 lawyers. I might not even know half of them. So I haven't.
There are lots.
I haven't actually. I mean, is
was that supposed to be a show of force?
It's a super show, if you ask me.
Was that supposed to be a show of force on the part of the NPP?
It's a protection, which I think, he's taking the right path.
Protection? How?
Yeah. Because if you have all these lawyers there, and they are sitting there with you, and there is a line of questioning, and they think you shouldn't answer that, or you shouldn't commit yourself here, or certain things need to be asked for, they help you. They come together.
Do you need 70 lawyers to do that?
That's a style. And if that is what is going to help him, he will do so. Some people just offer. Sometimes when some of these things happen, some people just offer that, listen, I'll go with you. Some people just say that, listen, this is my contribution to support and help you. I want to go. I want to listen to what is going on. I may be checking from the precedents that have gone on to see what information I can give you. So all these things are things that help you to decide. Because when you are sitting there, or when you are asked the question, sometimes you might go off because you want to really know where this is going to. So maybe your lawyer sitting there will say that, no, this is the way you should answer it, or hold on, we need to confer with our clients. So it's a way of, it's a style. If he gets 100, he will take 100.
Doc, is the NPP as a party supporting the former Attorney General saying anything with the 70 lawyers who showed up at the CID with Godfrey Dame?
Well,
is there any message they're trying to pass across?
Oh, definitely. I think that it will be very bad on the part of the NPP not to support one of their own. And bear in mind that Godfrey Dame was not an ordinary, in quotes, an ordinary member of the party. Even now, then he wasn't an ordinary member of the party. He was the Attorney General, a key portfolio for every government. So for the NPP not to show solidarity, not to support him, they would have betrayed him big time. Going with 70 lawyers, well, for that, I will not begrudge him once he feels that he needs a team to accompany him in this case. This is not, no case should be taken lightly, and more so this particular one. When you are being accused of influence peddling, trying to influence a case before the court, that alone can land him in jail. So he shouldn't take it lightly at all. And if he is able to assemble a team of 70 lawyers to help him maneuver his way through, I think it is okay. Once he feels that is what he will be able to afford, that is what will help him come out of this clean, then that is fine. But the thing is that when you look at how things are unfolding, there is one thing that I wish will happen, that we don't bring partisan politics into this thing. But once we begin talking about the NDC and the MPP in this matter, we destroy the case. If it is a case that a member of government then did something that ought not to have been done, let the person be dealt with on the matter, but not on the fact that he's MPP or he's NDC. That is what has not augured well for our political system for some time now. That there is an accusation, which is a serious one. The MPP will have to show some support for him, and that is exactly what if I expect them to do that, and that is what they are doing. But what I expect is that I don't expect them to bring too much of partisan politics into it. Once that becomes the issue, the essence of the case is lost. Now it becomes an issue of throwing jabs at each other, and that will even water down the essence of the matter.
But before you continue, is that not what happened initially when the issue actually, how this whole started? It started with the NDC at a press conference releasing that audio. Did they not politicize it first? And so if the NPP takes that position, they are well justified to do so.
Justification, I beg to differ. The fact that the NDC has done it doesn't mean the MPP must do it.
Right.
I think that these two political parties that have controlled affairs since 1992, these two political parties, they are made up of solid men and women who know what they are about. And I don't think that they are influenced by what the other party does. I think that the MPP as a party, they have their own philosophy, they have their doctrines, they have their ways of doing things, modus operandi and everything. The NDC too, they have theirs. But when a political party at a political party press conference raises an issue, then it loses the nationalistic nature that ought to be attached to such cases. And the mistake was made by the NDC when at an NDC press conference, I believe that Jakpa could have called for a press conference. The media would have been there
himself.
He could have presented a case in his capacity as Jakpa. That would have been a different case. But once it is presented on the platform of a political party, then the showdown has started, because it is a political party that is now pursuing the agenda. Definitely, Governor Dame's party, the MPP, will not sit and watch as a member of their party is thrown under the bus. They wouldn't sit. And that is what I think is not helping us. That let the case run. If he really had a case, let him present the case. You present the case, let Jakpa, Godfrey Dame respond. Then we see that this is a case that is going in a nationalistic way, but not partisan. Once the parties come in, when even you're a neutral person, you are trying to analyze issues based on what you know, you are even tagged. And that is what is not helping us. We need to get to a point. In our democracy, I think we have matured enough. The NDC, since 1992, the MPP, they have shown that they have matured over the period. And some of these things, I know when parties are desperate for power, they will do anything to paint the ruling party black in order for them to appear to be good. So these things happen. But I think it's about time that the political parties respect the citizens who are voting, that we are discerning enough to know that this thing is not the way to go. Unfortunately, both parties, they jump into cases and they muddy the water so that the ordinary Ghanaian even becomes confused. And that is what I don't think is good enough for our political system. We need neutrality, we need objectivity, and we need to speak truth even to power when there's a need.
Alfred?
I'm just when he was speaking about this press conferences and things, I just asked myself a simple question. Since this Attorney General took over in this Fourth Republic, this is the first time we are seeing that cases start being judged on air. Every single case that he's attending to, he always comes on air to announce it and to even condemn and say that the people are guilty before he even sends it to court. And we can start spelling it out, right from the national service situation right through to even this case that is going on. They always announce it to let people within the public think that MPP is so guilty. What happened to all the Ropal cases? Over 20 billion that they said we're going to recover all loot. Not even one case is in court that they've recovered. Since January today, 10 months. They started the moment, they won power. They started all these so-called setting up a committee, Ropal, Oral, who are sitting there and collecting information that MPP has stolen all the wealth in Ghana. When they finished, one after another, the current Attorney General, always on air, announcing this person is guilty, that person is guilty, people are negotiating, people are doing this, only for us to realize that he had negotiated with all the NDC cases for people to come and pay 60-40.
So your point is?
My point is that if you are serious about your job, go to the courts and do it. Don't be the, sensational Attorney General. Don't be an Attorney General who is always ready and ever fighting to go onto the airwaves and announce everything of everybody and even cast judgment before you even send it to court. Let the courts deal with it. Yes, you might be packing the courts, which everyone is seeing now. 41 new judges going to be put in, over 100 and something. Very soon, they'll add them. They should go ahead and do it. But prosperity will always be the judge of time.
On the issue we are discussing, Doc, where do you think this case how far do you think it will travel to? Some have said that the CID is not the right body to investigate this matter, and that this borders on the professional conduct of Godfred Dame. So the General Legal Counsel should have been petitioned to look into how Godfred Dame conducted himself during the trial. What do you make of that?
Well, that is if the accusations being leveled against him are true. Well, I think that the accusation is against the person who was occupying an office at a particular time. Now, the so-called influences that were supposed to have come from the Attorney General, the then Attorney General, they were meant to influence the case, as he said. Now, for me, if a case is running, the case was being handled by the police. Criminal cases are handled by the police, we know. Now, if that is the case, and there was an instance, or there were instances where the Chief Justice appeared to have been manipulating how things run in court, then I think that you should go back to the police, because the police, they were dealing with evidence. Now, for that, I believe that the General Legal Counsel could be petitioned on the conduct of the person as a legal person. But for what he did in office, that one ought to go to the police for the police to investigate. As to how far the case will travel, I'm unable to tell how far the case will travel, but from what I have seen over the period, once cases are taken to the court of public opinion, what happens is that with time, it loses its essence. It becomes political. That even when it goes to court, people still have a feeling that it is either the ruling government pursuing its agenda against the opposition or against such persons that they have taken to court, or it is a person in the government trying to it's a vendetta against another person in another party. So once the case becomes too loud in a public domain, I think that the essence is lost. And in this case, when a political party uses its platform to prosecute a case, usually it just ends up at the in the media that accusations, counter accusations, defense, that is what will go on, and with time they die natural death. He gave some examples. Yes, not just with the NDC, but the MPP too. They also had, when His Excellency Nana took over, they had issues with massive corruption. But we are yet to, we didn't see Nana has served his mandatory 8 years. But we were expecting that these things, you come, because you said you had evidence, let the courts work. let people who have taken Ghana's money, let people who have done what ought not to have been done in power, let them suffer. That is what the ordinary Ghanaian is looking out for. But once it is taken out there on political party platforms and political party communicators take hold of these issues, we have lost it. And that has been over the period. Cases that we hear of, initially they appear to be cases that will get Ghanaians angry. That how can this be done? But at the end of the day, when the substance of the cases begin to emerge, you realize that they just exaggerated. And like he said, Operation Recover All Loot, when it started, in fact, Ghanaians were excited that people who have made wealth at the expense of the taxpayer we brought to book. If for nothing at all, let the money come back to the state. What have we seen over the period? I don't know if Honorable Kujato and his team, if they will be able to do anything to the so-called evidence that they had. I don't know. So how far will this case travel? I hope that it goes and it takes its natural course, so that there will be proper investigations, and when persons are found to have manipulated the system, they'll be brought to book. I pray that it runs that course. Other than that, there need to be one of the cases that came up. Ghanaians spoke about it for some 1, 2, 3 weeks, and we went silent on it. I hope it doesn't go this way. In
an interesting twist, a private citizen, Daniel Mafo Foriata, also petitioned the same CID to look into or to investigate Justice Kolindi and Richard Jakpa over attempts to influence the trial. So now the CID is dealing with 2 petitions on the same matter. We understand that Daniel Foriata was invited by the CID this week. He actually honored that invitation, and then he said he presented the evidence that he has to the police. I see you smile. This is an interesting twist to the case. I asked Alfred earlier, should Justice Kolindi then be invited by the CID to give his side of the story? Because it may seem as though the 2 petitions revolve around him, and he's a key, or he's a person of interest in this matter.
Well, should he be invited? There is a second, there's another petition naming him and Jakpa as persons who influence the case. There is an earlier case where the former Attorney General has been accused of influencing the case. So now 3 persons are being accused of influencing the same case.
Same case.
Once they have invited the former Attorney General for questioning to ascertain the truth behind these things, I think it is only fair that other persons named should also be invited, so that they will hear them out. The one who sent the petition himself ought to be invited, so that he will give evidence.
He went to the CID this week, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. So he goes, he has presented his case. They invite the one he's accusing. He has been to them with his legal team. What happened there, I don't know. But there is another key person who is being named. So in both cases, I believe that his name will come up. In that case, why shouldn't he be invited to also give his side of the story? And in this case, there is talk of the 3 meeting in the house of Justice Kolindi. In that case, if it is there that the conversation took place and he was there, then it is only fair that they call him and they also hear him out. In this case, I think that yes, they need to hear him out. But there is a second petition. The person who sent that petition, maybe his background and everything. That's why I said that once things begin emerging and we see some coloration to them, then the neutral persons, for the sake of Ghana, they begin losing interest. because it's gradually goes into the fray where the political parties take hold of the cases because their persons, their people are involved. In that case, we know it will just become the usual talk. We talk, we do the analysis, and we go and we sleep.
This is a private citizen who filed the petition.
Yes, from where I work, I know that private citizens file cases, and at the end of the day, you know that some persons are behind those private persons who filed cases. If this person is indeed just a good citizen of this country, fine. Then I pray that case would also be taken as serious as Jakpa's petition, so that we will have the truth come out and justice is brought for the whole of Ghana to see. That is all I pray for.
Alfred, now there is another petition which talks about or looks at it from the perspective of Justice Kolindi and Jakpa doing the wrong. Is it supposed to be like a tit for tat? One has filed a petition against Godfrey Dame. There's another saying that the CID should rather look into the matter from Justice Kolindi and Jakpa point of view.
I'll start by putting a perspective Eben gave out with the MPP that when we came, we had all these cases as well, but we never advertised the cases. You remember very well that even the party was angry with the president, then President Akufo-Addo, telling him that we should let Ghanaians know the cases we are dealing with. And he says the law courts will work. And that is how you operate as an attorney general and as a minister of state. You are not supposed to be on air every day telling us that, this is the case I'm dealing with, and these are the people involved, and I'm negotiating with them, or they will be found guilty and blah, 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 because they've stolen so much. Attorney General should know better. And I expect the best from him, because I know he's a good lawyer. He's been a seasoned lawyer. So I expect the best from him. And this advertising of cases on air every time should stop. Do your work. You are being paid to do your work. Not to come and tell us that people are guilty, so you are going to take them to court. Take them to court and let the court define whether they're guilty or not. Coming back to the other petition, you see, when you want to play politics with everything, you have people too who are ready to do same. Was this case by Jakpa really very necessary? If you ask me, I'll say no. But when people get power, they think they have absolute power. Power is transient. It's just in for a very short season. 4 years. It doesn't take long. And that is what a lot of people are forgetting now. I mean, people in power. Ever since they came, so many things that are going on. People being arrested arbitrarily as if they are criminals in their own country. People who have worked, they come and arrest you, and then they just put handcuffs to you just to disgrace you. And you expect that the biggest opposition party will sit down quietly and watch. It can't happen. It can't happen.
Are you saying that the NPP is behind this private citizen?
I'm saying that whatever goes on, people within the opposition party will be agitated, because this is not right. We are not saying that don't invite people, but do it in the right way. Remember when they started, how this all started, and we said that, listen, these are human beings and there are people in this country who have not run away. So do the right thing. You can't just barge into someone's house, break his doors and arrest him because he said something, or he was on on a TikTok and someone said something untoward, so you feel that he should be arrested because he was the person who initiated a conversation. You don't do that.
But in the case of Godfrey Dame, they didn't do that. They invited him, because he went.
Constantly we've been telling them that what you are doing is wrong.
So they are changing.
And they know that if they tried that with Godfrey Dame, it wouldn't go down well for them. because he is a former Attorney General and a Minister of Justice. So he knows the laws. And the laws work. So they dare not try it with him. And that is why they couldn't go that tangent. That's why they invited him. And that's why he went there with his lawyers to present his case, to listen to them, to respond to them, and to present any case that they have against him. That is how you treat your fellow human being. Because you will not be in power forever. You will not be in that seat forever. You one day move, someone will come. Even if you are there, you will go on retirement one day. Someone would come. Do you want to be treated the same way that you treated someone? And when will the buck stop? These are things that when you are sitting, when you are given the authority to work, you should be asking yourself every time. Yes, let us bring justice into the system. Let us make sure that people who haven't done the right thing are apprehended, or they are taken through the normal process. But let's do it in the right way. NPP is not against any of their people who have served to be investigated or to be invited. But all we are saying is that let us do it in the right way, and don't think you are going to politicize it to gain political advantage over that what do you call it, the thing you are doing. Because once you start going that way, your case is dead on arrival. As Eben told us, your case is dead on arrival. The moment you start going that tangent, then it becomes political. Now, it's not that you want to really get something out of it, but you are trying to showcase to Ghanaians that, oh, this is a corrupt person. In fact, before Godfrey Dami left office, whilst he was in office, we heard so many things that the NDC were saying about him. The West Attorney General, the this, the that, they said so many things about him, trying to destroy him and paint him black, especially based on this particular Arthur Forson's case, the ambulance case. But he just took his due. He took his time and made sure that the case was going one after another. And we all saw the end result. He didn't fight it. He didn't say that, no, because he's a Minister of Justice, by force he's going to lock Arthur Forson or lock Jakpa or do whatever he has to do. Damn the consequences. He didn't do that. But at the end of the day, we know what happened. Then you come into power and you think that, oh, now I've appointed these people, one as a Minister of Finance and one as a, what do you call it? Is it IOCO or whatever it is, a member of or OSP or whichever it is, that he should go and work there. So now the person has power to do whatever he wants. Is that the sort of country we want to run? Let's assume and let's see the next 4 years, if power changes hands, is that how we should continue? People being locked arbitrarily? Because now the power is in the new person's hands. Let's reason. Let's do things the right way. Let us act and behave. And when you are given the power, the authority to manage things, manage it in the best of your ability, not in your own whims and caprices, because it will not help the country.
Let me read some messages on Facebook. Kwabna Sapon says, for purpose of the Odi Alterum Patem to be effective, I suggest that Justice Kolindi be invited. Prince Opoku says, no one is above the law. He needs to be so he needs to be given a date set aside and heard by the judiciary if his conduct was of good behavior. His position on the bench is dicey, in my opinion. Prince Casimiro says they have to invite him. Keep your comments coming in. So we'll wrap up this conversation very soon. But looking at the case and the petition and the work that the CID has started doing, Alfred, do you think that justice will be truly served? I mean, from the perspective of the CID, would go the long haul to get to the root of the matter?
It depends on the information they get, the feedback they get from whoever they invite. Because if truthfully speaking, I invite you, and the information I need or what I'm investigating, I'm not getting to the answers or the point where I need to take action, it becomes very tough. And investigations they're a dicey issue, because once you do it, whether good or bad, someone will say, if the government fails, they'll say, but we told you. If the government wins, they'll say, you people have twisted their arms. So these things are very dicey, and that is why I also believe that it should be apolitical. They should take politics out of all these things, because at the end of the day, we want to have a country where systems work. We don't want a situation where because someone is in power today, so he can do whatever he likes, but the system is working in such a way that at the end of it all, we know there is justice that has been given. If there's someone who has done wrong, the person will be punished. But when we go political, at the end of the day, when power changes hands, don't forget that the same thing can be done to you. What are you going to say about it? Because seriously speaking, if today you send me to court and I haven't done any wrong, and already you had come to announce that under the oral, these people stole so much, and you destroyed my name. When you get out of power and I also take you to court, I'm going to win my case. Because if you go to court and the court says that, no, this person hasn't done anything, I can keep quiet and wait for my government to come to power. Then when my government comes to power, I also take it up that you destroyed my name by coming out to say that I was guilty before you even sent me to court. And that is why we keep on saying that let us not do politics out of this. Yes, you might have started politically, but restrain yourself and act in accordance with the laws of this country.
Doc.
Well, I expect the CID to be professional in their work. We have known our security forces to be persons who are very professional, and in this instance and in this case, I expect that professionalism to come to the fore. I think that the people of Ghana deserve to be served well. We deserve to know the truth. We deserve to have justice served to us all. So in this case, if it is a case that there was influence peddling, then let Godfrey Dame be brought to book. If it is a case that Justice Kolendi has some questions to answer, let it be done. If it is a case that Jakpa is also being malicious, let him be brought to book. What the people of Ghana expect is that we expect the truth to come out. We expect that the political parties will learn to allow the judicial system to work. The political parties should learn to allow institutions of state to function without these parties influencing them. Once the parties begin putting pressure on these institutions, definitely it's not going to augur well for us. So the political parties, yes, we know it is their people who are involved, but we are pleading with them that they should allow the system to work so that truth will come out at the end of the day.
So let's move on to our next conversation. We've been talking about Galamsey for a very long time. Almost every week there's another issue around Galamsey that we need to discuss. This week we saw the information. The government communications minister put out information about the work of the task force NAMOS and what they have done so far, arresting miners, illegal miners, and also burning their makeshift and destroying some of the equipment that they used to do the illegal mining. Now, I don't know whether you've seen the videos and the pictures of what the task force has been up to. What do you make of it, especially when there's this call on the government to clamp down on illegal mining, save our water bodies, save our forests?
Well, I'm a member of UTAG. In fact, I'm the national vice president for UTAG. And UTAG has been one voice on illegal mining, Galamsey. To the extent that people even accused UTAG of being used by the NDC run up to election 2024. Well, these accusations that keep coming, and they're asking now, why are we quiet? We are not quiet. In fact, let me just address the case directly, else I was going to talk about many things that
we will come back to that.
At the background.
UTAG.
Yes. In fact, when it comes to this particular issue with the pictures and videos we are seeing being floated around, I think that this is just a flash in the pan. It is. I don't see much commitment on the part of the government to the fight against Galamsey.
They're arresting people. Does that not show that they're actually working on illegal mining to stop it?
Well, they are telling us that they are working, but the enormity of the issue at stake. Winneba is where I live, and let me bring the story. When they vacated my children and my wife, they came to Winneba. We decided to go to the beach. Usually, that's what we do. It's a ritual way. So we go there. We go to the beach. We have a swim. We play, and they came. We went to Warabeba. I'm being specific. When we got to Warabeba, previously it wasn't like that, but some 100 meters into the sea, it was brown. So when my daughter saw, they asked, "What is it?" And I told them, "This is Galamsey." Myself, I didn't know. So when I got there, immediately I put it on the UTAG platform, UW platform, that Galamsey and its effect is here with us in Winneba. Because the coastline was more or less free of these things, but I saw it firsthand. We travel around for UTAG neck meetings. We see, in fact, you see people by the roadside with impunity, with machines pumping, all these things happening, and you arrest. How many were arrested? How many shamfas were destroyed? How many earth movers were demobilized? Few, in fact negligible, as compared to the ones that are out there working.
But they have to start from somewhere.
You see, when there is an attempt to make it a show, it tells me they are filled already.
How are they making it a show?
How many people have been arrested? How many are indeed in jail? Don't we deport people we find in Galamsey? Why do you deport them when they have committed a crime? Our water bodies have not shut down. When you open your tap in Winneba, it is earth brown. These are the things we talk about. And you arrest some few people, demobilize some bulldozers, and you think that you have done enough. No, I'm not saying that they haven't started. And in fact, we shouldn't try to present the case as if the government has done nothing. We had engagements with the minister, Honorable we met him, UTAG neck, we met him in Sumanya. We went for a neck meeting. He came, he explained what the government have been doing, what the government intends to do and all.
Were you convinced?
No, not convinced. I wasn't convinced because what he had told us were going to be done. The previous government, the MPP, had told us they were going to do the same. And coming in, taking over, we expect that you make progress. But it looks like the report they keep giving us reports of things that we know already. We have our forests that are being destroyed. People have entered into our forests. Take it that one you cannot even see because they are deep in the hinterlands. That one is even not an excuse. But those by the roadside, it is clear, public eye. When you drive, you are driving to Kumasi around Chebi and Yinem area. You see them. You drive to the western region. You see them. Ashanti region, all over, and you arrest few people. Yes, we praise them for doing something. But Mr. President and Mr. Minister, we think that you can do more than you are doing. More ought to be done because now it is a matter of, I think, is an emergency situation because our water stations are shutting down. That is dangerous. So ask yourself, once they shut down, where are your people getting clean water? We are not asking those questions. Now, there were issues about dechemicalizing and detoxifying and all those things. No. Let us not reduce this national problem to one of battle over terminologies. No, that is not the issue. Let us look at what is happening on the ground. And that is my concern. That is a concern of UTAG. That on the ground, we don't have clean water. On the ground, the water that is being used to cook for us to eat, the water is contaminated. The foodstuffs we buy, enough evidence that they are laden with heavy metals. Aren't we killing ourselves gradually? That is exactly what they are doing. So if the government is able to arrest some 15, 20 people, good, they are doing something, but it is just, it's a drop in the ocean. The major problems ought to be tackled, and that is what UTAG we are asking the government to do.
When you say the major problems, how else should the government be tackling illegal mining other than getting rid of these illegal miners from our water bodies, from our forests? What else should the government be doing?
We are asking the government that when you look at some areas where illegal mining is rife, it isn't that the government is not aware. If the government tells me it is not aware, then it is not fit to govern. Because you have the state apparatus, you have everything you need to be able to tackle this problem. That is the money that the people of Ghana have given to you. Now, you go to places where it is visible. This one, you don't need rocket science, you don't even need drones to tackle these issues. You can see that machines are working. Why is it that day by day these things are happening? So for me, these things are happening all over every day, and you arrest few people. As I said earlier, it isn't that we are saying they are doing nothing, but we think that they can do more, they can do better. As teachers, we always say there is more room for improvement.
What's the more? I want to know the more that you're expecting from the government.
Revoke licenses. There are people who have licenses to do small-scale mining. Mm-hmm. They are not doing it right. Revoke it. Now, in some countries, what they have done is that they have banned surface mining. It is banned, outlawed. I think that we should get there, where surface mining is banned. Because surface mining, nowhere in this world has helped. Surface mining, everywhere surface mining has taken place, they destroy water bodies, they destroy the soil. And once you destroy the soil, you are doomed. The generation that will come later, they are doomed. So surface mining itself ought to be banned. If you want to do proper mining, get proper investment, do serious mining. But once you engage in surface mining, you cannot even control. They always go beyond the concessions that they have. And we expect the state to tackle this one head on. We should not be toying with this particular issue. It is a national crisis, and that is what we are saying, that let the government do more. Surface mining is not helping us. Let surface mining be dealt with. Concessions that people have, let those ones be revoked. We need to have a period where we will sit, do an assessment, re-strategize, then we can move on. There is talk of issues of unemployment. Yes, there is unemployment. People who engage in some crimes, once it is a crime, it doesn't matter if you are going to use it to pay hospital bill or to buy food to feed your family. A crime is a crime, and nowhere can we justify any crime.
Kwame Jantuah is a lawyer and a member of the CPP. He's joined us in studio. Welcome. Yeah. And Tabitha Apegiyine is also a member of the NPP National Communications Team. Ayiiah, welcome. Let me come to you.
To me or
to Ayiiah, we've been talking about Galamsey. Almost every week there's talk about Galamsey. This week we saw that the task force had made some arrests, destroyed equipment. We should be happy that the government is doing something about illegal mining, arresting these people, these miners, and possibly prosecuting them.
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And wow, this Galamsey thing, honestly, I think the government needs to put its or her legs down, enough of the comedy show. We know the end of what they are doing is just to, fish out 2 or 3 people, like what they are doing to Chairman Wontumi, the harassment, everything that is going on. I hope you are very much aware of how they are grilling him, It is just to, take 2 or 3 people, set them as examples, and then we go back to Gary Sokin's quote unquote, let me put it that way. Because look, there is actually nothing new that this government is doing that the MPP didn't do. And I think this must be drummed for people to hear. And so the last resort, I think we all concluded that the last resort is for us to call for a state of emergency. And I think that was where we got to in 2024. Then the elections, people went and casted their votes. And they thought that, look, NDC is advocating for state of emergency. Let's give them our votes and let them come and actually do it. Now, NDC has been voted into power. They have been given all the power in the world to act and to act decisively. But unfortunately, they have also decided to backtrack on their promises to the people. We can make mention of more than 10 leading members of the NDC who said, look, the last resort is to call for a state of emergency. But today, they are all saying, I think there's more we can do before we get there. But we have forgotten that all the show they are doing, we did it, but it didn't yield the results we were all looking to see in. So why the backtrack? I think we should keep telling government that, look, this was not your promise to the people. And even their 120 days social contract to the people, they said it, that they were going to ban all small-scale mining. What is happening? We are done with 20 days, right? We are now in the 8th month. Or is it the 9th month? 10th month, can you imagine? And we are still talking about the same thing we were talking about last year. The government hasn't been honest with the people. I don't know the number of people they want to see die because of Galamsey before they call for the state of emergency. I don't know the number of spontaneous abortions they want to see women suffer before they call for a state of emergency.
Is the state of emergency going to solve the problem? Because I have been here for about 3 weeks. We've been talking about Galamsey, and every single time we have members of the NPP say that the state of emergency is the way to go. The government should declare. Is this really the solution to Galamsey? So that if the government or the president declares the state of emergency, then our water bodies are going to be cleared, our forest reserves will be fine, and we will start living normally.
Yes, let me tell you what will happen. When they call for this state of emergency, among other things that they will be doing is that they can have better assessment of the devastation. Okay?
They don't have a better understanding of what is happening now.
I think that is it. Because, you see, as it stands, people are still, abusing the laws of this country when it comes to mining. I heard somewhere in Central Region, somebody diverted the river and is mining there. To the extent that 5 or is it 6 constituencies are cut off from Ghana Water Company. They don't have water. Imagine one person, just one individual, denying 6 constituencies in a region of water. This is how serious the issue is. 6 constituencies. Do you know the number of people in one constituency? Multiply that by 6. And we should know that, we are not actually giving it the needed, attention that it deserves. We are talking about women and children who are worse affected by this. Let me ask you something. In our homes, if there is no water, who goes out to look for water? Is it not you, the woman? Is it not the children? And you can just imagine the impact of that on the women and children in those constituencies. We are talking about productivity, being compromised. We are talking about the education of children being compromised. We are talking about the sanitary conditions of girls that are menstruating being compromised. And now they are saying that we've always been talking about the soil. But you see, the contaminants are so they are so deadly that even the air you breathe, they are part of the aerosols you are breathing into your lungs, everything. So you may think that you are not drinking the water, but it is in the air. It is in the soil. When you go today to buy food, you wouldn't ask, where did you get these foodstuffs? You would never ask that, because even the person cooking the food doesn't even know where those foodstuffs are coming from. So you sitting in Accra here may not know that you are eating these contaminants, these heavy metals into your system. But we are all in the food chain and we are consuming these things. So a better understanding of the level of devastation will be ascertained after a state of emergency is called. 2, people who are, destroying, or let's say are not paying attention to the protocols when it comes to mining. What will happen is that this is a brilliant opportunity of getting the opportunity of doing what? Revoking their licenses from them. You get it? And a host of other things that can happen. So the call for the state of emergency is important. Let's give time. Let's give the lands. Let's give the waters. Let's give the air to get life back. You get it? Our water bodies, the contaminants will start reducing. Okay? And then they will recover. The air will recover. Our plantations will recover. We are overdosing these substances and our bodies don't need them. Look, I don't know if you know anybody who has a special child, but if you know anybody who has a special child, you know that it is so much of work on you, the parent, especially you, the woman. You have to be a caregiver from day one till the child leaves this earth. This is how serious the issue is. And so you may think that, you the man, excuse me to be raw this morning, but your sperm cells will carry these heavy metals with them. You give birth to children and those children come with, cognitive disabilities. Apart from physical disabilities where they give birth to children without limbs, the deformities, we are talking about their cognitive abilities being compromised. And we cannot sacrifice the future of our children because some few people are enjoying from these natural resources. But you see, the president actually made a statement that broke my heart. And I can tell you confidently that based on that statement the president made, I don't think the president is committed to fighting Galamsey. And let me try and paraphrase him. He said that if those days outsiders were making money out of the illegal mining trade, and today government is rather making money out of it, then it is better that government makes money out of the illegal mining trade than outsiders. And he said this because Gold Board has reported to have given a revenue of $9 billion US. 6 billion rather. So are we saying that we like the money but not the people? My children's future shouldn't be compromised because the president wants money. The human resource of this country shouldn't be sacrificed because of some few powerful people. And I will always say this, that the MPP is always ready to support the government, fight this Galamsey. And so if the NDC is not fighting it, it means that they are deliberately, okay, ignoring the powers we have given them.
But you were in power for 8 years. You couldn't do much, and that's why we are here. How then does the government come to you and say, give us your support to fight illegal mining?
We couldn't do much because, unfortunately for us, we had an opposition party that was opposing everything that we did. You had the opposition party people going into mining areas and telling miners that vote for us, we will allow you mine. And there are a lot of videos to this. The president even promised them an amnesty. Please. That is why I said the MPP is ready to fight with them. Because we know that you can't fight Galamsey with a divided front. You need everybody on board. And we have learnt our lesson. That look, we shouldn't make it politics. We should support the government any day to fight illegal mining. So when I hear people say that we were there for 8 years, yes, we were there for 8 years. But we did not get the support that we needed, especially from the other side. And so today, if you have the other side saying that we are all in, we are ready to fight with you, and the government is not using that opportunity, then what are we doing to ourselves?
Let me come to Kwame Jantuah. So last week when the president met the CSOs, one point he made, let me just quote him: "Those who run the operations are the ones we must arrest, not the boys. We need to change the mode of arrest. We can look rather for the kingpins and deal with them so that we are able to get something from this." This is President Mahama speaking when he met the CSOs last week. If you're looking at this and from the logic of this point, aren't we just wasting our resources and time by arresting these boys?
Good morning. Good morning to my fellow panelists. The young lady, what's her name?
Tabitha.
Tabitha. Let me start from where she left off. You asked the question, do you like money? Or money comes first before the Ghanaian? Yes, you said that. Don't you know that in Ghana that is true? Everything is money. You say, in Ghana, everything is money.
Yeah.
So you can be illegally doing business and they clap for you.
Yeah.
It's money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And number two, you talked about opposition not supporting the MPP. You're in power. You don't need opposition. The same way this government is in power, they don't need the opposition. What they need are the people to support them. So you had the power to do what you should have done. Unfortunately, the political commitment wasn't there. And the political commitment doesn't seem to be there even with this government. Unfortunately.
I don't know if I can come in here. Can I?
When I finished, then you
Please
come in,
allow
because
him.
when you were talking, I kept quiet.
Oh, okay. You are
Yes.
trying to fight everything.
I'm not fighting anything. I'm not fighting anything. I'm giving my
Please,
my comments. I'm not fighting. I'm giving
go
my
ahead.
comments. You jot it down. Me, I jot mine down.
Hey, I didn't know we were doing back and forth.
It's not back and forth.
Please
What
allow
is it
him.
back and forth?
Okay.
Mr.
Back and forth.
Jantuah,
I'm
please
giving you my
continue.
point.
Sure.
Look, unfortunately, we are politicizing Galamsey. We have, all of us, past and present, politicizing Galamsey because there are personal interest in there. Simple. Let me go to the quote you said, President Mahama said. It should have been done ages ago. In this fourth republic, since Galamsey started, how many kingpins and financiers have been arrested? Tell me. How many have been thrown in jail? How many have even gone to court? That should tell you something. So let's stop the politicization of it. I remember when the MPP was in power. On this platform and on the various platforms that I'm on, I kept saying, this thing is a national issue. I kept saying, President Akufo-Addo, Call this. I said President Akufo has experience of Galamsey. President Mahama has experience of Galamsey. You, President Akufo, has experience of Galamsey. Otumfo has experience of Galamsey. The Ochihin has experience of Galamsey, and some other chiefs. Let's sit around the table and let's sort this out. Did you hear anything? You're still politicizing.
Aren't we sitting too many times? We are meeting a lot of people. The president here last week met CSOs.
Gemma,
meeting this
Gemma,
person, meeting that
Gemma,
person. Nothing is really
Gemma,
being
listen to me. You're not listening to me. I said together. It's a national issue which we need to solve together. Not individual meetings. Together. Like, I think it was Iceland. Iceland went through a difficult challenge when, Trump was threatening them. The president of Iceland then, do you know what the president did? They called all stakeholders, opposition, whoever, sat around the table and decided together to tackle the situation. Have we done that? Even President Akufo, who has massive experience in Galamsey, is he in the discussions? Is he part of the discussions? No. President Akufo-Addo, did he take leverage from President Akufo in terms of Galamsey? No. Didn't happen. So for me, so far as we are not ready to sit together as a country and as a nation, let's forget it.
When you say sit together,
sit together to solve the problem and find solutions to the problem. Not on a party basis. So one party comes and goes and things change. Another party comes and goes, things change. Let's sit together and say, this is the way we are going. Let's all follow it and get the people behind us. UTAG, the last time, were you part of the associations that said they will go on strike if they don't solve Galamsey? Was UTAG part of it?
Yes.
What happened? What happened?
We did.
For how long? For how long?
When all unions decided to backtrack, it was only UTAG that stood.
So why did all unions decide to backtrack? And you sat down for them to backtrack?
UTAG cannot answer for other unions.
You're a union fighting a certain cause. And if others in your union are not fighting it, make them understand why they should fight it. And don't let politicians decide to change your mind. Because who are suffering today? Isn't it the people? Isn't it us? We talked about chemicals in food. We talked about people in the rural areas. We talked about those who are mining in the pits. What can they do? What can they do? And it boils down to the fact that we haven't been able to create good employment for our people through the years. We haven't. Because remember, population is always increasing, and you've got to plan your economy towards the population, and you've also got to plan your education to the population growth. Have we done that? Have we done that in this country? And so we churn out, graduates, and they come out and they have no job to go to. And don't you think if we were able to structure Galamsey well, people will not get good jobs to do? The time President Akufo-Addo decided to ban small-scale mining for a duration of time, what happened? Did we not begin to see change? What went wrong? Why didn't we continue? Why didn't we continue?
Are you suggesting we should have banned small-scale mining
so
forever?
Far as I'm concerned, today, if I were president, which I am not, I will ban small-scale mining.
Exactly.
Forever?
No, not forever. Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm asking.
No,
I'm asking.
no, I didn't add the forever, so don't add it. Don't put words in my mouth. I would ban small-scale mining for that duration where I can put Galamsey in a better form. And I'm telling you, as I keep saying, I've seen the map of Ghana, the Gold Coast map of Ghana, why they called Ghana Gold Coast. The entire country is covered in gold. Topsoil, alluvial, deep mine, the entire country. That's why AGC can go to the north and start mining deep mine gold. Entire country. So that goes to tell you the people won't stop. So if you don't structure it in such a way that it becomes commercially viable, then what's going to happen? And you see, it's threatening all our natural resources. Galamsey is threatening all our natural resources. And let me tell you, I'm on the GMPC board. Today, we have been able to identify oil seepages in the north and in the south. And third quarter of next year, we are going to start drilling onshore. Can you imagine if these areas, and if you look at the map, 3/4 of Ghana's landmass is said to be covered in oil and gas. If we are able to find blocks in various areas, and these areas are Galamsey laden, isn't it affecting the revenue of the country? And two revenues that bring money into this country wholesale, oil and gold. These two, they bring, when the oil money comes, it comes like a tsunami. Boom! And you are able to use it for the development you are looking for. And if politicians do not have the wherewithal to say, look, irrespective of what you think, we are going to put in a policy. Me, I said it, and people insulted me. Initially, I said, shoot to kill. If you won't shoot to kill, shoot to maim. Show some firepower. Because the Galamseyers, do they not have firepower?
You be shooting these boys.
I said, do they not have?
You be shooting these boys who after they are arrested,
Wait.
if the kingpins come,
Wait,
they'll employ other people to
Gemma,
do the illegal mining.
Gemma, wait. It's not the boys in the pits that you should shoot.
So who are we shooting?
Those who have guns and are protecting. When the soldiers go and they are also using their pump action guns to fire them and have battles with them. Shoot to kill them. Shoot to kill them. Little bit of shooting to kill. We'll sanitize it. And then ban for a certain duration. But in banning for a certain duration, make sure you have a plan to put it in a good structure. Make sure. Look, we can even use the agriculture, the way we do the agriculture, and put it in cooperatives. Me, if there's a cooperative for gold, I'll go into it. Why not? So far as it's structured and I can make money, why? You can go into it, she can go, he can go to it. Why not? Isn't it making money? But it is done properly. And it has shown with what Gold Board has said to us that they've made $6 billion. It shows that it is a good business if it is done well. So I ask the question, why don't we want to structure it properly? That question should be asked. And look, apart from the politicians, the next set of people we should attack and attack ferociously are the chiefs. The chiefs. Are they not the ones giving the lands out? What is happening to them? We should attack the chiefs because Otunfo has said, when he was in congregation of chiefs, we know you people sitting there and we can distool you. So why isn't the government going after those chiefs who are giving out lands? Why? Go after them. Wait, are they any different from us? Yeah, we revere chiefs. But if they are spoiling our nation, should we sit and let them spoil our nation? Anybody who decides to do anything ultra-virus to the health of the people of this country should be taken out. When I say taken out, I don't mean killed. Should be sent to jail or sent to court. Yes, you are innocent until proven guilty. But once you are proven guilty, go into the bin. Because really, I do not understand why we are still pussyfooting around this Galamsey. And Galamsey is what? Gather to sell. No be so. Gather the gold and sell. Gather to sell means that we have to kill people. And we said it time back that very soon we will be importing water. Very soon we will have chemicals in our foods. Very soon we won't be able to do certain things. And anyway, who brings in the chemicals? Who are the ones who bring in the chemicals? And are you telling me that we don't know who brings in the chemicals and we cannot monitor? Because some of the chemicals have to be monitored. You just can't bring mercury in just like that. Where is the mercury coming from? And we are talking, we are breathing the air. My dear sister said, we are breathing the air. Where is it coming from? Who are bringing it in? Apart from that, those people at the port, the customs people at the port, who are making money from, what do you call it, excavators coming in, we should ask them questions. And I've said, President Mahama should be ruthless. Stop the pussyfooting. The Minister of Natural Resources, my good friend Boa, when he came, what did he say? We will list those people who are financing, Galamsey. Do we know? Has that list come out?
Not even one name.
We have to be ruthless. I'm not going to play politics with this thing because it's a national issue. There's a place to play politics. But not with this. Not with this. Look, whatever the case is, and I've suggested and I'll continue to suggest, President Mahama, call President Akufo-Addo, call President Kufuor, call Asante, call all of them. They have experience. President Akufo-Addo's experience in Galamsey is up there. President Kufuor is up there. President Mahama himself is up there. Otumfuo is up there. Let the people see unity. And when the people see unity, the people themselves in the communities can start tackling it. Because I see that if the people within the communities where Galamsey is happening, if they don't take the scruff of the neck and say this thing should stop, it could be difficult. But they need an arrowhead. They need leadership. Unfortunately, their chiefs aren't giving them the leadership, and this is where the politicians come in. MCEs who have what do you call it in their area, sack them. Assemblymen, sack them. Regional minister who cannot make sure that what do you call it, Galamsey happening in his area, can sack him. And don't tell us that we have majority in parliament, so it will affect us. To hell with it. People are dying. People should die and have majority in parliament. Who then would you be there to look after, to legislate over?
You and me.
So for me, it is not a political thing. It's a national issue that all of us are threatened. All of us. All of us. So right now, we've seen chemicals in our foods. You like Igontobre, don't you? Look, one of the most dangerous things with Galamsey are cows. Are cows. Do you know why? What do cows eat? Grass. Where does the grass grow? From the ground. And if the grass that is grown is filled with chemicals, the cows will eat it. It goes into the meat. Doesn't it? Don't you like cow meat? Don't you like soup? So you have chemicals in the meat. You eat the meat and gradually it gets to you. Danger. Dangerous. So you see how this thing can seep into small areas of our lives. And then you'll be sitting there, you are what? Gemma, you are a fine lady. You are very young. In the next 10, 15 years, you start getting certain things in your body. You don't understand it. So, forgetting that is the food you ate 10 years ago that has created this. And how would we get to know? Apart from that, it will put pressure on our health system. Look, Galamsey has so many faculties that can destroy this country, and we are pussyfooting around it playing politics. It has to stop. We have to speak with one voice and act with one voice and decide this is the way we go. Because I don't see how 4 million people can threaten 34 million people. I don't see how. Okay, let's say 4 million can threaten 30 million people. I don't see how that is possible. Because of how much money? And she rightly said it. Nobody knows you. You can't do anything, you can't go anywhere. Anything you want to do, you have to know some big man with money. And it is wrong. It is very wrong. And we've got to speak with one voice. We should stop the politics. Thank you.
Alfred.
Gemma, what do you want me to say?
Do you have anything to add?
I have a lot more to say.
Right.
And I beg to differ with what he's saying. That is all of us. It's not all of us.
Which part?
That is all of us. And we should stop playing politics with it. When NDC was playing politics, where were they? What did they tell them? They are in government now. Based on the Galamsey politics, they want power. I should come and do it for them. I'm not the president. I am not the president.
Effects.
The president has the honors duty. He's the only person.
We are all affected by illegal mining. I think that's the point.
That's the point I'm making.
No.
Yes. We are all affected.
He's saying that we shouldn't play politics. Let me tell you something.
No, answer this question. Are we all affected or not?
It.
Do you agree that
we are?
Please answer. Do you agree that we are all affected by illegal mining?
Who will say that you are not all affected?
So if we are all affected, can't we all come together and fight it? Why not?
Because one person has to take a decision. And he's refusing to take a decision.
Which decision?
And I said it somewhere, and I'll state it here again.
What's the decision?
I'm coming. I'll tell you. I want to let my thoughts flow. If you do politics with Galamsey, you will fall into the pit of Galamseyers. The president should note that I'm telling him, if you do politics with Galamsey, you will fall into the pit of Galamseyers. When in 2020, they went to places and said that all those who have been arrested will release you. So vote for NDC, let us come into power. At that time, we were fighting Galamsey. Galamsey didn't start yesterday. Oh. It didn't start in 2017. It never started in 2017. Neither did it start in 2012. But in 2012, it peaked. And that was when we started telling them that, listen, where we are getting to, if you don't stop this Galamsey, there will be problems in this country. Did they listen to us? No. When we came the first year, and note it, check anywhere, we stopped small-scale mining entirely. There was a total ban on small-scale mining. If you remember very well, 2017. And we said that everybody who wants to do small-scale mining should re-register. That was when we got over 2,000 people registering for the small-scale mining, because we needed to give you segregate the areas for you, so people don't go near water bodies. Today they said that and say that under Akufo-Addo's government we gave over 2,000 licenses, and you come and tell me that we shouldn't do politics with it. Instead of concentrating and see how you can solve the problems, everything they are doing one after another, we've done it already. Check anywhere and tell me if I'm lying. Even, sorry to say, to carry people to go and re-inaugurate things that we've done, for them to even have their death. 5 people to die because of that. Because there were things that we had already inaugurated and we were renaming it and going to re-inaugurate it. They got their untimely death. What have they done? The first week they felt sorry. Today, they are enjoying themselves, flying to UN and doing whatever they like, stopping people from even going to the conference in UN, because they think they have the power. Maybe my dear brother, senior brother Jantuah can advise them, because when we talk, they think we are stupid, but the Ghanaian is not stupid. Time will tell. We have over the water bodies are over 41. When they met the CSOs, they just mentioned about 6 water bodies and forgot about the 35, because they know the extent of damage in which those water bodies have gotten to. Ayensu River, when you take the turbidity level, as at 2024, it was 14,000 NTU. Today, as we speak, it's over 94,000. Over 94,000 NTU. When you take Birim River, right now it's hovering between 5,000 to 8,000. Brim. It's hovering over 5,000 to 8,000 NTU. And all these places are being closed. Look at what happened to, Nyakro Water Reserve. Now they've closed it. I went to do a course at University of Cape Coast. For the first time, I was bathing brown water.
You were bathing with brown water?
Yes. The water is brown.
Your skin is absorbed.
And I started getting...
There's nothing wrong with your skin.
I can show you. I started getting some rashes all over.
Yeah.
I started getting rashes. I got scared. You want me to come and advise the president that there is a state of emergency? He said he's waiting for national security to come and tell him before that, now where it's gotten to, we need a state of emergency around the river bodies and around the forest. You should sit down and wait. He's already done 10 months. You should still wait. National security will tell him in 2028, when there's elections, they will tell him, then he will start doing, bringing the state of emergency. When his people were going around those times, fighting everybody, that we should do a state of emergency around the river bodies. And when they talk about state of emergency, you shouldn't forget that it's not the whole country. We are talking about river bodies and forest areas, places that are being affected seriously. He talked about excavators, and there are so many excavators that have been brought in and things. We talked about trackers on excavators, and what we were doing, if you didn't know, was that when we put a tracker on your excavator and we give you the concession where you can mine, if you go beyond that concession, your excavator goes off. When they came, they decided that informal. So people started doing what they want. Because when we were fighting the Galamsey, they were telling people that it's MPP kingpins who were doing the Galamsey. Right now, Galamsey is worse. Is it still the MPP kingpins? If it's the MPP kingpins, arrest them.
They're all doing it.
It's only one to me.
Everybody's doing
who is
it.
the person they put their eye on?
Politicians are doing it, unfortunately.
There's only one to me who they put their eye on. It's unfortunate. It's sad. Over 3 months, you have mentioned Yamin. You have mentioned Abanga. What has happened to them? Have we heard anything? Have they been rearrested? But Wontumi has been arrested more than 3 times. Because Wontumi is the MPP kingpin. Sad. And you said they shouldn't do politics. Those who are calling not to do politics are the ones doing the politics with this. Those who are calling not to do politics are the same people doing politics. The son of the chairman in Abuakwa State, who the DCE was chasing and said that this chairman's son is doing Galamsey. What has happened to him? Have you even heard anything about him? And sister, we are in a troubled zone. Where we've gotten to is more serious than 2012 and 2017 combined. When you see the rivers now, it's not like brown water. It's like chocolate drink that has been so thick that you can't even stir. Check all the river bodies, and that is why it goes into the sea for him to see. And I'll say, UTAG, we are not crying enough. Maybe because your former chair got a position and is so full, so now he doesn't talk. And the rest of you are not talking. The cry that you happened in 2023, 2024, I don't see that same cry from UTAG today. Even to the extent that when we call them and we show them the steps that we are putting in place, we've put in place, and the way that now the rivers are changing, they said no, they should call a state of emergency. When people at 37 block the roads for sick people not to go to 37 to receive medical treatments, and people were dying out of that, nobody saw the, what do you call it, the importance of telling them that stop what you are doing. It's a national fight. It's not a political fight. Today, they are saying that it's nationalistic. When we were shouting, and Edu Buahin and the former CEO of Minerals Commission went to gold areas and telling them that when they come back, they are going to give them the concessions to do, so they shouldn't worry. They should vote for NDC for them to come. They've won power now. Now they've given them the concessions. Should I come and cry about it? Let's all die together. But you should start with the person who is allowing this to happen. It's only one person who has the power in this country to stop this once and for all. But I don't think people have balls to come out and say it. Tell me, the CSO they met, what's the communique that has come out of it? Maybe Mr. Jantuah can educate me. I haven't heard any communique from the CSO meeting, or you have. Nothing has come out of it. Nothing. It was just a meeting. It was a fanfare. But you know what I realized? Now, one of the people who was boisterous out there, Ken Ashibe, is being chased that he shouldn't use the title doctor again. For the first time, he's been using doctor ever since he graduated from SMC University. Today, G-Tech has said that his doctor is fake or is not recognized, so he shouldn't use doctor. All because he's going to talk there that we should stop this politicking of this Galamsey. Today, he's a target. And you think we can fight Galamsey? You think Galamsey can stop? When you talk and you become a target, a person in the presidency, Stan Dogbe, started exchanging with him that he's an MPP person. assuming without thinking that he's even MPP. So what? He shouldn't talk? Is he not a Ghanaian? Is he not paying his taxes? He started talking even within our time. We never shut him down. We never told him that he shouldn't use the title doctor. We never said that his doctor was not recognized. We didn't target him. Neither did we target anybody. To the extent that the president even put his seat online. He nearly lost the 2020 elections. We did all that. Even after 2017, when we stopped all mining and said that everybody should register, now you are being given an allocation. And truthfully, we saw that the rivers were getting better. Truthfully, we saw that it was getting better. Today, go and see. It's more than a chocolate drink. It's more than Milo. Then you come and tell me that I shouldn't do politics out of it. I don't need to do politics. Ghanaians are seeing this. Ghanaians have realized. UTAG has seen it. He's told us today that he hasn't seen any change. And don't forget, in 2016, the then Environment Minister, Mahama Ayariga, said that they had fought this and they don't know what to do again, but they should bring new ideas to fight it. At that time, Mahama was the president. He named Alhaji Inusa Fuseni as chairman, 5-member committee that they had formed to see how they can fight Galamsey. So they knew Galamsey ever since. It's not a new fight for them. They know what to do. They know what to do. And that is why I've asked. The 3 names I've mentioned, the chairman's son, the Yamin, who is an executive member of the party, and Abanga, who is the second vice or first vice now of the party. What has happened to them? When they start doing the right thing, we will see our water bodies getting better. They should set up and stop talking. They should stop the fanfare and doing meetings, CSOs and everything. Abu Jinapo met CSOs. Abu Jinapo met chiefs. Abu Jinapo met all concerned bodies. As today, my brother is suggesting. And everybody was involved. That was when Otunfo came out and said that we know the chiefs. That was when the then local government minister said that we know the DC is involved. A DC was sacked in our time. A DC was sacked from post because of Galamsey in what do you call it? This place? Central region. The other side where the Galamsey is so obvious there. I forgot. It will come. When it comes, I'll mention it. DC was sacked. So if they are doing the same things that we've done, burning excavators, chasing people in the forest and everything, they don't. It means that they didn't learn and they haven't learned and they will never learn. They will never ever learn because you learn from the mistakes of the past. Put a strategy in place and move into the future. But they are not ready for that because they are doing it themselves and they are benefiting from it. If they are not benefiting, they wouldn't stop it.
The same way, the same way your party benefited from.
Hey.
The same way.
So where are those who benefited?
Wait.
Arrest them.
Wait.
I still had the floor. They didn't give you the floor. They didn't give you the floor.
Wait.
You should
the
be waiting.
Same way.
You should be waiting. You haven't finished.
Same way.
I haven't finished. When she was talking, he said,
whatever
the
case is.
Write your nose down.
Whatever the case.
Write it down.
Whatever the case is, the host hasn't stopped me. When she stops me, I'll stop
okay.
quiet. Yes.
Madam
She stops me. She stops me.
Please do your work.
If you stop me, I will stop.
So host,
Look. You did the same. You did the same. Why? What didn't I say? The same thing I'm saying today.
You haven't.
Haven't I said that both parties don't have the commitment? Haven't I said it this morning?
No.
I've said it. I've written it down.
The commitment
say that.
I've said it. I said both parties don't have the commitment.
That's why we are saying
Please.
that.
You said political.
Isn't it the same thing?
And whether it's the same
Isn't it the same thing?
I spelled out
It's the same
everything
thing.
that we've done.
No, but,
It's the same thing.
but we
That
have done
thing is
everything.
Listen.
And the
we don't
APC is
want-
only repeating what we did. That
ask
did not
me-
work.
So let me ask you.
And so right
So
now,
let me ask you.
the elections we went
Madam,
into,
let me ask
the
you.
conclusion is
Madam,
that
let
there
me-
should be a state
Madam,
of
let me
emergency.
ask
With
you.
the government themselves
Let me-
committed
Let
themselves
me
to
ask
doing
you.
that.
Let me
saying
ask
that
you.
in their
Let me ask you.
120
You
days.
had 8 years. Why couldn't you stop?
No.
Why
have
couldn't
spelled
you?
No, you see,
Unless you are
Why
refusing to
couldn't you?
I have
People
spelled out
who
everything
still-
we were putting in place.
No.
It is rich.
We stopped
It is rich for politicians
We declared-
to say
we
things
declared-
like
It
this
is-
when you couldn't do anything about
we
it.
did.
What did
We
what
did.
People
Is
Party
it your
say?
water
What
guards
did
that we
People
didn't
Party
do? Or it is your
what reports didn't Frimpong Boateng give? When the Frimpong Boateng report was given to the president, how long did he stay on his desk for? Please let's stop this politics. I'm not into politics. I'm into Ghana.
You are into politics.
Into Ghana. I'm a politician. But for me, the overriding factor is that Ghanaians will die. That is where my issue is.
So address it to the president.
The issue is, I'm addressing it to all.
No, the president.
To all.
The president,
We are all
he has the
going to
political
die.
will right now to
We
call for a
all
state
are
of
going to
emergency.
die, and I've said,
You've lost the address.
Listen,
The address is the president's office.
I have said they don't have the political will.
You
Not the political will.
Muhammad doesn't have it. That is what you are saying. Right now, he has just
It
concluded
looks
that.
as if President
No,
Muhammad
don't
doesn't
bring
have
President
political will.
Akufo-Addo
Please
here.
stop it.
Tabitha,
He was president.
But it's gone.
He was president.
Today.
It comes from
Today.
Tabitha.
No.
His actions were
Just
good.
say Muhammad doesn't have the political will. Just say that.
You weren't able to solve the
Just
problem.
say that Muhammad doesn't have the the political will to call for a state of emergency.
Solve the
Stop.
problem. You weren't able to.
So I have put your mics off. You are not listening to me. It's okay. So please let's drink water. Let's drink water. Let's no.
I didn't finish. I was there.
No.
I made a point. Can I
I haven't concluded.
Let me read some messages.
No, can I conclude? Just
Let me read
2 minutes to
some-
conclude, then you read the messages,
No,
please.
let
So that they can add more messages to it.
Stop.
Oh, so if it's Mr. this thing, the Jantuah there, you don't stop him. But me there, hey,
Don't say that. So
Jima, you're not being fair to me.
now,
Oh.
Christopher says the Galamsey situation is far gone past emergency. Should
Thank
be
you.
fought like the Israel
national security is not
Palestine
seeing it.
war or the Russia-Ukraine war. Ghana's existence is in
It is a
danger.
war. How would they say?
Also, Mohammed Isaac says, please mark my words, Galamsey has come to stay with us because NDC came to repeat the things that could bring solution until we use Bawomia's idea in stopping Galamsey.
I can read some out for them so that they learn.
Okay, so the messages are hiding itself. We'll get back to the messages, but I've heard.
So
from
can I
the
land?
No.
Oh,
I think you
Jima.
made your
No,
point.
I
think
didn't
you made
land.
your point. I think you made your
I
point.
didn't land.
Alfred, I think you made your point.
Jima, you are not being fair to me. No,
I
no,
think
no, no, you are not
I
being fair
gave
to
you
me. No,
enough
no, no,
time.
no, 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 no. Let me land. Let me land,
No,
please.
no.
2 minutes to land. Or 1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute. Thank you very
One
much.
minute.
The host said I should land.
1 minute.
Why are you
1
afraid for me
minute.
to land? You see,
1 minute. Mhm.
I'll state and state categorically. Let's be realistic and let's be serious. If within this time of fighting Galamsey, if within this time of saying that this illegal mining should stop, and within that time frame, you see that the president's brother, whether legitimate or not, is buying a gold concession in the northern part of Ghana, how would you feel? You would want to go out there and also get your gold, because you have to get gold to make money. As he is saying, the timing of buying that concession, that black water, was wrong. It was very wrong. Immediately you took power, your brother is buying that concession. Whether legitimate or not, it's up to him. But it's a wrong timing. And sometimes these things affect the psyche of people. And that is why today people can have the nerve to go out there and do Galamsey just like that. That is why it's happening. And that is why the water bodies are spoiling. And let me tell you, something that has been spoiled within 4 years cannot be repaired in less than 4 years or 8 years. It was taking time. And that is why gradually we realized that the water bodies were getting better. Now it's gotten worse. If we don't know, it's gotten worse. And Akufo-Addo's time. And Akufo-Addo, I didn't say that at the beginning. Oh, why are you jittery?
Are you done? I want to move
And
on.
Akufo-Addo's time, everything we're putting in place was showing that things were getting better. It was just for them to continue and then decide that the ultimate has happened. The war has been declared, state of emergency on water bodies and forest areas. But they couldn't do it because they don't have the balls to do that. They couldn't do it.
The president didn't say that he was not going to declare.
He said he's waiting for national security to advise him. That was his words.
Yes.
And he himself cannot see
If national security can
He
see,
says when it gets there, he's not
My
going
sister,
to hesitate to do.
did you hear what
that.
someone said? They said it's not even a destined state of emergency. It's a war.
It's always been a war.
It's a war.
It's always been a war.
It tells you that where it's gotten to, it is more than serious.
Yes.
Right.
Go and read the UN Charter on water. Go and read the UN
I
Charter
think
on
I have
water.
heard from the politicians.
One of the things we
I-
did
Alfred,
that was clear. One of the
Alfred.
things that we did that was clear. Why we registered people, over 2,000 people, that they are the registered people, because we wanted them to make sure that they do not allow the illegal miners to come in, and they were doing it nicely. They are the custodians. Yes. They made sure that illegal miners were not coming in, because we told them, if illegal miners come in, we are going to get your concession.
So are you then saying that the illegality that happened during your time
you
was
you
had nothing to do with small scale miners? Is that what you're saying?
No, you definitely get one or two people who definitely be
You
defiant.
mean the small scale miners?
No, I'm not talking about. I said we register small scale miners so that they make sure that around their concessions don't get the illegal people coming in.
So
Now-
and that's the
now-
question I'm asking. That are you saying that small scale miners are not involved in the illegality?
Now they are.
Before
No,
they were not.
They were not. Because the moment you moved, and that is why I told you that the tracker was supposed to make sure that can I finish? The tracker that is supposed, the moment you dismantle the tracker, they realize it in Accra. So the moment you dismantle,
And then what
they take the distance from you. They take the whole distance from you. Your concession is taken away from you. So when the tracker they realize that you move out of your concession, you are in trouble already. And all these
money.
Mr. Jantuah.
Mr. Jantuah,
I
you keep
think
on
I
disturbing
have
me.
given you more than the 1 minute. You
Because he keeps on jumping in.
No, I don't keep on jumping.
He didn't used to be this way. Now he's tested power, so he's now jumping it off.
Okay. And so I have heard from the politicians, and it's one thing is clear, that we are playing politics
He
with
agrees with you.
illegal mining. Are we dealing with a criminal problem or a governance failure?
When you talk about governance and good governance, you are talking about a government that is responsible, a government that is responsive. In this sense, I think that the government, in fact, governments we have over the period, they have not been responsible, they have not been responsive with the environmental issues. This issue of Galamsey, I think we have governments over the period that have proven that they only talk to the issues of Galamsey and they don't act on the issues of Galamsey, the issues that will be able to bring down the devastation that Galamsey is visiting other people of Ghana. And let's also bear in mind, for the benefit of your listeners and viewers, that small-scale mining is not the same as illegal mining.
Thank you.
This point has been made severally, that small-scale mining is regulated. They reclaim land after them. So whenever they move, they make sure it is part of the regulation, and that is what we call for. That let there be regulation. Once there is regulation, that such and such small-scale mining company has concession this hectares or acres, then regulators and agencies of state will always be able to come and assess how you have reclaimed the land. I am told science has proven that there are some plants that can even help to take out some heavy metals and chemicals from the soil, for the soil to be able to produce food that is wholesome. All these things are there. It is not that we don't know. Science and data has proven that there are ways we can always clean these things. But the challenge we have is that the government is not ready. Governments have not been ready to ensure that regulations are abided by these small-scale miners. And now they have entered the fray. It has become illegal. That they are doing things that ought not to have been done. And that is what we are talking about.
But the regulation is there, not so.
Exactly.
We have the regulation.
If I pick, if I get a tractor, an excavator, and I enter a forest area, the government doesn't even know that I'm there in the first place. So how do they even regulate my activities? But once I register,
But so now the government says before you import the excavators, you need a permit to do so that they'll be able to track that the number of excavators in the country and what it's being used for.
Exactly, and that is one. That is one of the things that we need to consider. There was talk of cyanide and mercury and all. Where do they come from? You don't just buy cyanide from any shop. They all come through our ports. What is the regulation on the importation of cyanide, the importation of mercury? We don't produce them in Ghana here. But do we have regulation such that we know which company is producing? We're able to tell, are those things there? So at the port, what is happening at the port? Is it free for all? Is there some people are taking some monies and are allowing things to just enter into Ghana? The thing is that any drum, any gallon of cyanide and mercury that comes to Ghana, the residue is left in our soil. And once it is left in the soil, nature has a wonderful way of bringing them back to us and giving them back to us to eat and to drink. Now, one of my colleagues, she is a hydrogeologist. What she says is that what is happening on the surface, they are all seeping down into our underground aquifers. So those who are even sinking boreholes, they go deep. You are just pumping the cyanide and the mercury. You are just pumping those chemicals back. So we are just destroying everything that we have. Every natural resource we have, we are gradually destroying them. But to end it, I think that the question you asked, the only thing that I can see is hampering our success against Galamsey and illegal mining is that we have weak governments. I say this without any apology, that we've had weak governments when it comes to this issue of Galamsey. The previous government started the regulation. Beautiful. Why did they stop? It got to a time they lost it. That's how UTAG came in. Now this new government comes in and it is worse. So the thing is that we need governments that are able to stand and say that this is what we are doing.
What's preventing the government from doing that?
Political will. Because they are weak. Governments that are ready to sacrifice what the whole of Ghana should benefit for few people.
They are not weak. It's a money issue.
And that has made them weak. If there is an influence that is preventing a whole government with the state apparatus, you have the army at your disposal, you have the police, you have the security forces, you have the people of Ghana backing you. I tell you, the government, if the government decides to fight this Galamsey issue, no matter the approach the government takes, the majority of the people of Ghana will support the government. But why are they not doing it? It is because of the money matter, of the greed and the selfishness. This is what is killing us.
But that's what the NPP keeps saying, that when they started, they didn't get the support, such that they suffered in the mining areas. They lost almost all the mining seats because of their efforts in fighting illegal mining. And so it is not as simple to say that, okay, we are fighting illegal mining, and then if you are doing it this way, everybody is going to support because it's for a good cause.
And that is why we are suffering. We are suffering because the NPP, they don't want to lose. We are suffering because the NDC promised illegal miners that when we come, free for all. Do you know what the Bible says? Now the Bible tells us something, that when a righteous man, when a righteous person rules, governs, the whole society rejoices. So we have, if the whole of Ghana, we are lamenting, we are crying, we are making a lot of noise because our water bodies are contaminated. Now, fish.
It means the president is not righteous. Is that what you're
said
pointing?
that.
Right. Okay.
All I'm saying is that we have leaders who are selfish. We have leaders who are self-centered. We have leaders who are weak. We have leaders who are not ready to sacrifice for the sake of Ghana. You go into the political history of Ghana. Look at what Kwame Nkrumah did and the sacrifices. Look at what Achampon did, the sacrifices. Buzia. Look at all of them, the political traditions we've had. Look at the sacrifices. Jerry Rawlings. Look at what they did. Now, look at what our current leaders are doing. Can we compare them to the leaders of old? We can't, because we have leaders who are now looking at what they will benefit, and that is exactly our problem. So issues of governance, good governance is not, democracy is not just about churning out new parties to come into government. You read SP Huntington, he tells you the 2 turnover effect. We've had more than that. But that is not what democracy is all about. Let the masses, let the majority of the people benefit. Utilitarianism. Let the majority benefit. That is what we are asking for. And we have seen that the president has not been that committed to the fight against Galamsey. The government hasn't been committed. The party itself is not committed.
What do you want to see?
I want to see the regulations work. I want to see a government and the ministry telling us that now I don't need anybody to advise me on the water bodies because I see. When I drive around, you on the highways, you see at times less than 100 meters away from the main road, from the highway, you see people. Galamsey. These are things. If you can drive to just somewhere around Eginem, you see it. They are there. And this one, do I need national security to advise me? When the rivers that are flowing, I see them so that they cannot be treated for people to use. Do I need any advice? These are the things, and we expect the government to rise up to the call. UTAG, we are behind any government that will show the will to do it. We have the numbers. We have the students we teach. We have the young minds. We have them. All we are telling government is that let there be commitment. And unfortunately, over the period, we haven't seen much commitment that is coming from the side of the government. How we wish that our governments will stop politicking and stop the blame game. That the MPP did this, the NDC did that. It's not helping us. We just need to solve the problem. We have water bodies that are contaminated. How do we get them clean for the people of Ghana to drink and to cook with?
Just a quick question. So no, me, I'm a senior citizen here, and a sitting tenant. Sitting tenant. So, if you see Galamsey going on just behind the police station, who has the responsibility?
What does our law say? I know.
Who has the responsibility?
Who has the responsibility?
Just behind the police station.
To do what?
The president has a responsibility.
No,
The every resource. You know that every resource.
Wait, I'm coming. The police. Wait, the police. The police are there to do what?
To enforce the law.
To enforce the law.
Exactly.
And you see Galamsey going on just behind your window.
The land has been given out.
Irrespective, it's illegal. No. If that Galamsey is illegal, the person doesn't have a license. They are doing illegal. Isn't it up to the police to arrest?
Exactly.
And then did they arrest?
The point.
Listen. The point I'm trying to make is that this Galamsey fight is all of us fight.
I agree.
Including the politicians, including Ghanaians.
But the bus stops the presidency.
If the presidency... Wait. If the presidency... Wait. I don't shoot myself in the foot, my dear girl. Look. If the president isn't acting, it's up to the people to act. No. What do you mean no? What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
People to do.
So you are trying. Listen. Let me tell you something. In my hometown, Mampong, Mampo Ashanti, my hometown Mampo Ashanti, the chief Nanose Bunsu, who just died, you dare not try. You dare not try bring Galamsey in Mampong. Go and see Mampong today. Not one Galamsey pit. Isn't that a leader within the community who is fighting it?
So the leader within the nation should fight.
If the leader within the nation is not fighting it, who does the responsibility fall on? Isn't it the people of Ghana who put the politicians in power?
So what should they do now?
Isn't it the politicians?
Take the law into their politicians.
They are wielding politicians' guns.
And if the politicians are part and parcel.
What are you expecting Ghanaians to do then?
Look, if I had my own way.
How do we fight
Wait. If I had my own way, Ghana will go on strike.
How?
What do you mean how? Ghana will go on strike.
How?
Tell the people, tell governments, leaders that we are not lifting a pin to work if you don't solve this Galamsey. Do we have the work? Will we do it?
95% of
Oh,
people.
please. 4 million people. We are not prepared to sacrifice.
Oh,
See, you see.
Will you go on strike? Will you go and strike?
I'll strike.
You have you?
I will strike. If my
it
union
shouldn't
says
be.
we should strike, I will strike.
No,
Please.
I don't think we have to get
It
there.
is-
If
it
the
is-
government has the political will
but
and actually
Is the political
does,
will? Is it there?
No, because
Is it there?
How can we strike? People need to feed their families. They
Uh-huh.
have to do that.
So we rather kill ourselves.
No, the government has to work.
And if they are not working, we sit and kill ourselves.
They
Is that what you're
voted
saying?
for the NDC.
So listen,
That should not be
government
an
is not
excuse.
working.
No,
Government is
no,
not
no,
doing
we
it.
cannot do this to the
Tabitha,
people.
allow me. Government not working should not be an excuse. They were put there to
So,
do the
so
work.
they are not doing it. How do you solve it?
That should not be an excuse. We
I
should
said
not
they are not
tolerate
doing it.
in the first
I said they are not doing
place.
it.
Should not tolerate it. In
Then
the first
take them out. We have 4 years to take them out.
Yes, we'll
so
take
within
them
that
out.
4 years,
We'll take them
within
out.
that 4 years, do you know how many people have died from eating contaminated, chemically laden? Do you know how many people have died? The people have a responsibility. The people have a responsibility. I don't understand why you don't. I don't understand why you don't see it.
Voted out the
That's the
MPP.
government.
Have it's equally, but the people also have a responsibility. Look, one finger is pointed at the government. How many fingers pointed back at us? How many fingers pointing back at us?
In this case,
Now
we
they are
gave,
putting it to the
we
people.
gave the
Yes.
government.
Give it to the people. It's not affecting you.
Government. In fact,
I
it is
said
the
if the
president.
government is not
It's the
doing it,
president.
I said if they are not,
Unfortunately,
if they are not
Gemma,
doing it,
Gemma,
if they are not
Gemma,
doing
you
it,
remember
you
during
said,
the campaign, people were even proposing that it was Bawumia's responsibility to stop Galamsey. Can you imagine?
They are not
and
doing
today,
it.
those same people
They
who
are
were
not
saying
doing it.
Bawumia should stop Galamsey,
Let us all
and the
die.
same people saying
You are
that
a member
the
of the
people
government.
should
I'm
stop
not member of the
Galamsey.
government.
When you have a president, and even though Bawumia was a vice president, they thought he should have been the person to stop Galamsey. Isn't that ironical? Please, let's stop gaslighting the people. Let's stop behaving as if.
People, did they stop?
When you give you an
When we were
appointment,
talking,
when the
stop
government,
Galamsey,
when
did
the
they
government
stop?
gives you an appointment, you're a member of the government.
That is why they voted
stop
him out.
it.
They
Stop
voted
it.
him
So
out.
he's a member of the
Let's
government.
stop
You tell
it.
his
He's
people
a
to stop.
member of the
I
government.
said let's stop.
And
Tell
so
your
talk
people
to
to
your
stop.
people.
I said
Talk to them.
we are
Yeah,
Ghanaians, and I'm
right.
telling you
You should be
that
angry
if
enough
they
to
don't
tell
have,
people.
what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
That take your job.
What
if
am I
you're
doing
not going
here?
to do that.
Honestly,
You from the board.
No,
Ghanaians have been robbed. They've been robbed by the NDC.
they've been robbed by both
That is why I
parties.
said, look,
Why?
even
Not
if you
you
look
people.
at their
Not you people.
120 days
Not you
social
people. What
contract,
writings were you doing?
it is
What
there.
writings were you
It's not
doing?
me.
Were you
In
able
In
to?
their
Were you able to solve
120
it?
days social contract,
You weren't able
it is
to
there.
solve it.
They are just not ready.
They want to attack me, so
They
let me
are
attack
just
them
not
back.
ready to fight it.
I think we should take a break now, and when we come back, we'll continue with our conversations. This is still the forum.
Hey.
Let's go back.
Thank you for staying with us. This is still the forum on Asaase 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 99.7 in Tamale, and 100.3 in Cape Coast, our partner stations across the country. We are done with the conversation on Galamsey, but I want to end with this quote from Engineer Paul Kletus Akbanya. He's the Eastern Regional manager for the Ghana Water Company Limited. He said, quote, turbidity levels in the Brim River intake source fluctuates between 5,000 and 8,000 NTU, prompting the shutdown of the Chebi water treatment plant. We need our water to return clean before we can resume work, unquote. It's very sad that we are still playing politics with Galamsey, but I hope the government does the needful to save the country. Let's move on to our next conversation. So yesterday, the NPP, the NPP will be going to the polls next year in January on the 31st. The various aspirants have started their campaigns. Yesterday, they were invited to the headquarters to ballot for their positions on the ballot paper. Now, we do know that first on the ballot is Kennedy Japan, followed by Dr. Brian Champong, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Yao Ose Aduchum, and Engineer Kwabena Ejapon. Thankfully, I have two communicators for the NPP here, Tabitha and Alfred. I want to start with you because I want to know what's happening with the NPP. This is more or less a heated contest. Because we have been hearing things from the camps of Dr. Bawumia, Dr. Brian Champon, Kenny Japan, Dr. Ose Aduchum, and Kwabena Ejapon. The ballots and that how we are going to see the ballot paper on the 31st of January. Alfred, does it do anything to have any of these candidates on them, the arrangements of the positions? Does it say anything? Because I have seen people start to say that Dr. Bawumia will be the third president the NPP will produce, Kenny Japan is the first man, all of that. Is that important? Is that necessary? Does it do anything to the campaigns of these candidates?
First of all, I'll bring you greetings from the NPP head office. Yesterday, the ballots went on nicely. I bring you greetings from all the candidates, especially the candidate I support, who is Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Fortunately, he got the third on the ballots. It's just a number.
Were you expecting it? Is this something you prayed for?
I was expecting him to get one of the numbers, and he got one.
Obviously.
And it was 3. You can read so many connotations to it. I mean, when I even put a post on my DP, people were saying that, he's the third from the Dankwa, the Buzia, now it's now the Domo, the third one, and he's the one getting it. They talked about the 3 of in the Bible and everything. Even I was saying that, because he's in the middle, he unites the other two on his left, 2 on his right. As Jesus died on the cross, there was 1 on the left, 1 on the right. He has 2 here, 2 here. So after he wins, you bring all of them together. But it's just a number. The most important thing is that we have one common enemy who is not living up to expectation. So over 10 months now, we haven't seen him do anything meaningful. All he keeps on doing is rattle and doing the normal publicity stunts that he's been putting up, right from Attorney General through the presidency to the last person. All they keep on doing is talk and put the blame on everyone apart from themselves. So we need to marshal ourselves. We need to come together. Yes, we got a defeat in the last elections, and it all boils down to the perception people got. The things that now, when I walk 2 days ago, I went to the market, Medina market, and when I was walking there, when you look at the faces and you talk to the people, there are a lot of regrets because people felt deceived. And I said, you were not deceived. You wanted to hear what you wanted to hear. And that is what you get at the end of the day. Because now they tell us that dollar has gone down as low as 10, and the prices have gone up as high as God knows what. You don't see any correlation there. It tells you that there is something wrong. And when you keep on telling that the fundamentals are weak, they don't understand it. So you can do whatever you like, you can do all the propaganda you like, but at the end of the day, your behavior, your work would expose you. And that is what you are seeing today. Today, they are bluffing about gold board and everything. How did it all start? When Dr. Bawumia talked about gold for oil, When he talked about gold for forex, I remember even Mr. Jantuah here was saying that it can't do anything, it can't do anything. But today, that is what is saving us. Otherwise, our dollar would have been over 25. Our dollar would have been over 25. It would have been skyrocketing. Because I don't see what's new they are bringing. They haven't even started giving out contracts. They haven't even started paying out contracts. Look at us today. How much more when they start? It means that we're in trouble. We should embrace ourselves for a more difficult year next year. Because what you are going to see, Ghanaians will shout. I'm telling you the truth, they will shout. We haven't started seeing anything, but they've gone to where? Was it Korea or wherever to go and borrow about 3 billion or so and tell us that, oh, now they are able to make, they are getting money for the country. Yes, we went through difficult times. We went through turbulent times. We embraced that storm. We made mistakes as Ghanaians, as human beings. Definitely, it's not everyone who will be happy with what we went through. We stepped on toes. We've apologized for that. We've told Ghanaians that, listen, upon all that has happened, we have worked well. But we believe that in doing that, in putting things right, we hurt certain people. We are sorry about that. But believe us that when we get the mantle, we are going to do things better than we are saying it today. Because if you tell me that now dollar had gone to 10 Ghana cedis and we can't correlate it, if you tell us that people are in this country and they are not working, they are not getting any good jobs, 133, when they were singing all those songs for us, what has happened to it? Nothing. Then we need someone who can embrace the fight that is ahead of us. All 5 men are good gentlemen who can embrace it. But I believe that the person who, if given the mantle, will be able to turn the fortunes of this country around. The only person who, as a vice president, today, when we go to bed, we can mention his name and remember things that he's done to help stabilize the system, to help start putting things in place. Because you can't do anything in this country. But the
people of Ghana rejected him.
The people of Ghana went for a referendum of the work of the then president.
How do you say that?
When, let me tell you. Let me explain something to you in politics.
Let me make my points. How do you say that when it was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's face on the ballot paper and not another Akufo-Addo?
Thank you. When you are in government, people go on a referendum to see how well you've governed. When you are in opposition, people vote for the candidate that is on the ballot. That is how it works in politics. And anyone can tell me I'm a liar here. Mr. Jantuah is here. He is a political analyst. He will tell you, when you are in government, people look at what you've done in the last 4 years to vote for you, whether it's good or bad.
So the people of Ghana felt you didn't do enough.
The people of Ghana felt that in 2024, they had too much pains. Listen, we had gone through DDEP. We had gone through a phase where we didn't change our ministers. We had gone through a phase where there was global economic crisis. We have gone through a phase where there was the world the Ukraine wars and everything. We have gone through so many challenges within a matter of 4 years. And to embrace all that was a difficult task. It wasn't easy. But we had to do it. We had to embrace that storm that came. We had to do everything possible to make sure. We knew it was a difficult task. That is why we were saying that we are going to break the 8. Because it's a cycle that within every 4 years, your economic fundamentals will let people vote for you or not vote for you. It's a referendum on the MPP. In the 2028 elections, it's going to be a referendum on the John Mahama government, even though they are going to bring a new candidate. It will be a referendum on what they've done. Like the fighting of the Galamsey, that today they are telling us that they are waiting for national security to come and tell them before they know that the water bodies are going down. A lot can happen in 3 years. Oh yes, a lot can happen in 3 years. And I'm telling you that with the way they've started, coming events, they always cast their shadows. And we know what can happen. We know the government that that has taken over from us. We know how they can talk. We know how they just come on air and come and say so many things. Like I gave you earlier on the oral. The oral has been prosecuted on air, but nothing has gone to court for anyone to be prosecuted. So it tells you that this is the type of government that is being run now. Oh, let us destroy people on air. Let us destroy people on air. I'm telling you, anybody who has been destroyed should keep that tape. Because when we come, we are going to take them on. If you spoil my name and I come into government, I also take you on. Like what Jakpa is doing.
Why do you wait?
When you are going to load the court with over 41 judges and over 100 people more coming in.
The opposition then also blamed your government for packing the courts.
So if that is how they want us to go, we'll always go it. Every 4 years we'll change judges. If that is how the current government wants us to go. We'll do it every 4 years. Let's change the judges and put our judges there.
So you are saying,
and we'll see whether this country will benefit.
Kenny Japan, Brian Champon, Baumia, Educhum, Japan.
It's far better than the current NDC government that is going on. But I believe in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I believe that this is the time.
You think any of them would be a good opposition leader?
Better than the NDC government now.
Right.
But I am telling you that the best person to lead at this time, every time, and the leadership they produce, and the leadership of today, I'm telling you, is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When you look at his past, when you look at what he has done, even as vice president, because let's mention from the Fourth Republic, any vice president, mention the name and tell me what you can attest to him. You cannot get anything to say about the vice president, what they have really done. But when you mention Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's name, there are so many things you can list that even as vice president, he initiated, he pushed, and he made sure that these things were in place. I'll give you one simple one. We talked about corruption. And he said that, listen, every government will come in, he says corrupt, and they keep on changing. But the system is still corrupt. How can we tidy the system up? Let us go digital. Because digitalization can be traced to see who has gone wrong. And you can see it faster and easier. And that is why he went on the digitalization drive. Because he wasn't even thinking about becoming president to continue and make sure that now we settle the cements their front. But he was looking at how we can put things in place so that when he's not even there, one day when someone is there, we can change the system. Today we lie in our bedrooms. It didn't used to be that way. And electricity, when it goes off, you can be able to buy it online. At that time, when electricity was being purchased by cash, the revenue we're getting was not even up to $200 million. Today we can boast over $1.5 billion Ghana cedis every month for revenue collection, which is a good sign. It tells us that digitalization can drive. And the person who was initiating all these things was Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. So I believe that giving him the chance, he's going to improve upon what he's done and make sure that Ghana will get to that fourth revolutionary fight that we always talked about. He is going to lead us to that. He will do his term, and at the end of it, we can all boast of it. So I believe that we should give him the chance to do that.
Doc, the NPP started something that is quite unusual, choosing a presidential or a flag bearer this early, even before going to the grassroots, starting from the polling station executives to the top. To the top.
The party, you should have asked me. I'll answer you why we did.
No, we understand why you did that. But currently, how do you see the NPP and how it is working as an opposition party?
Well, as an opposition party, I expect more from the NPP. Looking at the few mistakes that the NDC they have started committing. Yes, I expect it is only 10 months. So
but it's not few. 10 months and what you are seeing is not few. Be realistic.
So looking at the NPP in opposition, I expect that they will be. In fact, if you remember the political history of Ghana during the 1992-93, when the NPP decided not to run to fill their parliamentary candidates, now they did something that worked for them going into 1996, was that they resorted to the courts and they also engaged the media, even though those days the media wasn't as vibrant as now. And they were able to present policy options to every policy that are failed with the NDC. Unfortunately, I don't see much of that now. Well, I would understand because they are now trying to organize themselves after the laws, after losing the 2024 elections. So they are organizing themselves. That's how come they are calling for early elections to get a flag bearer. Now, this is not entirely new that they go into early election to get a flag bearer. In opposition, you don't have a president. If you're to have a president and elect a flag bearer, then you have some challenges with the leadership of the party. But in this case, in opposition, there is no president. So in opposition, they need someone to lead them. And in this case, it will be the flag bearer. So going into early election to get a flag bearer this early, like 3 years, almost 3 years before the election. One thing that it would do to the MPP is that if Dr. Bawumia has been marketed already, almost every corner of Ghana has a picture of Dr. Bawumia. So I expect that. Am I talking as if Dr. Bawumia has been elected?
That's the question I was going to ask. Are you predicting that he is going to win the primaries?
Well, I expect him to win. Right. I expect Dr. Bawumia to win.
Because he's well marketed.
Yes, he's well marketed, and all the candidates, like he said, they are persons who know the party. Yes, they are gentlemen and all. But I don't expect the MPP. Now, in fact, opinion polls that have been done over the period even points to the fact that Dr. Bawumia is going to he's going to be elected the flag bearer of the MPP. Now, going into early elections, it will afford them an opportunity to market their candidate better. So you have 3 years to move around every corner of this country. You can visit every district. You can visit every constituency within 3 years, and that is what will work for them going into election 2028. But I got something in a statement. I don't like a situation where I will be commenting on comments that have been made by panelists. But this one, permit me.
Sure, feel free.
That when we begin talking about when we come, we will take them to the cleaners. We will take them. That thing, it's.
On which statement was that?
No, you made a statement that when we come, we will deal with them just as
on what, based on something.
On the person that they purportedly are disgracing.
I'm saying that they should take. If you destroy my name, make sure that I'll take my video and put it there. And when I had the chance, I will deal with you on that. Like what Jakpa decides that he wants to do now.
For me, you see, the MPP and the NDC, no matter who has studied politics in Ghana, will understand that these parties have come to stay. And these are the leading parties. So once they begin doing this to us, the young ones, it doesn't give them choice. But we need to see the difference. Let the MPP do clean politics. Let the NDC engage in clean politics. This vendetta, it doesn't help the cause of Ghana. Let people serve with clean conscience. Let people serve the best they could. Let them be judged based on that. But this thing about when we come, we'll get back at them. I wish that our politicians will just focus on the job we give them. We give you a job, fix Ghana. It's as simple as that. Fix Ghana for us. If those who have stolen our money and all, if you deal with them, I have no problem. Those ones, deal with them, take our money for us first, and jail them if they need to go to jail. But to come and hit back at them because they are hating at you now, that one I don't think it is a way to. Maybe I didn't understand you. Sorry if I didn't understand you. So yes, for the primaries, early election will be good for the party, but their placement on a ballot paper doesn't matter.
That's all.
It doesn't matter to me. You are number one doesn't mean. And in fact, the delegates, we look at the voting population. In national elections, it is understandable. When you tell someone I am number one or I am number 8 or number 4, it sinks. But in the delegates who are going to elect the flag bearer for the MPP, I want to believe that almost all of them are elected, such that, in fact, they know the party, they know the persons, such that it will not be too much of an issue that look for the position, or they know the person they are voting for. So I don't think it will matter too much their position on the ballot paper. I believe that it is the what the person brings on board that will win him the flag bearership of the MPP. That is what I believe.
Tabitha. So this week we heard that the party had put together an ad hoc committee to be looking at the campaigns or how these candidates are campaigning. It's all well with the NPP and how you're going about the election?
Okay, so I will not say it is all well. Those who have been following what is going on internally will tell you that it is not all well.
What's happening?
Oh, a lot has happened. I may not like to, highlight them and talk about them, but a lot is going on. but it is also expected. It is expected that those things should happen. I am happy that these things are happening now, so that we can regroup fast, heal ourselves, and then come together as one political party and fight for power 2028, because our chances are very clear. If we are able to fight, together, it is possible to clinch power in 2028. And so the committee is good. They are putting in place a committee like that so that candidates do a clean campaign, very clean, so that after we have elected an individual, hopefully, and I know most Ghanaians will bear with me that the most prepared candidate so far among the 5 is Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and his intellect makes him stand out. His ability to, have ideas that are outside the box, is clear for us to all bear witness to, that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has distinguished himself. And as somebody will put it, that consistency is key. And if we, the MPP, come together after 31st of January and rally behind the candidate, I tell you, Gemma, the MPP can win 2028. The reason is simple. The turmoil that we are going through right now, the NDC will be faced with it come 2026 or 2027. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be pretty. It isn't going to be pretty. A lot will go down in the NDC.
So you think the MPP has advantage over the NDC?
Yes, we have a lot of advantage. We have a lot of advantage because they will be dealing with internal problems, and at the same time, problems that they are deliberately ignoring right now, that will be waiting for them and staring at them in the face in the next 2 to 3 years. And Galamsey happens to be one of those things. We will use it and use it very well. I'm telling you. And we are going all out for them. They should be prepared. I already told you how the NDC and some journalists were on Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud's back for not solving Galamsey. Imagine that you are looking at a running mate to a president as being the reason why Galamsey was not solved. Isn't that funny? But you see, somehow people actually believe that he had the power to stop Galamsey. But look, the MPP, as I said, we stand a chance of winning the next elections. And we can only take advantage of it if we do our internal elections very well, if we conduct ourselves very well. I have always done a clean campaign for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and I will continue to do a clean campaign for him because I know after he wins power on the 31st of January, we need all of us. We need everybody. We need both the MPP and those that are not even MPP to win power.
You are very sure that Dr. Bawumia will win?
100% sure. 100%. Why not?
You have doubts?
I'm not a member of the NPP.
No, I'm asking if you have doubts.
I'm just watching to see what happens on the 31st of January.
Yes. What will happen is that the party will see a candidate, will vote for a candidate who stood with them through the good and the bad, who proposed policies that the MPP as a political party today can say that we did this, we did that. Agenda 111 is a brilliant idea. Drone delivery service, a brilliant idea. One constituency, one ambulance, a brilliant idea. And all these have their roots from Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Mobile money interoperability. He has a lot to offer. Today, Gold Board is selling and making a lot of money because of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia's ideas. No matter how they try to rebrand his idea, but it comes from him, and nobody can take that away from him. Ghana has always had gold. Ghana has always had it. But how many people could bring ideas that were transformative enough for us to have, to have this going on? As at the time Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was proposing that we build our gold reserve, we had just 8 tons in our reserves.
True.
So let's not make a mistake. We already have a candidate that is well marketed. We already have a candidate that is of sound mind. We already have a candidate that resonates with both the old and the new. We have a candidate that is ready to, unite the party. He has positioned himself so well that both internationally and, locally, people know him and what he brings to the table. Okay? All that the NDC could have said, they have already said it already. And we have battled it out. And look, some narratives that people actually were misinforming people and disinforming people, just within this 10 months, a lot of them have been flipped. For instance, the Boko conflict. When people were trying their best to, put the blame on him, we have seen how it has backfired. Now people from their own constituencies who are MPs cannot go to their constituencies because of what is going on. A lot of things that people said that we have been able to, dilute them. So what we need right now is a candidate that we don't have so much work to do on. We don't have a lot of, new things coming up that they can no longer surprise us again. The NDC, all that they had to say, they have already said it already. They have nothing to surprise us with. So why don't we rally behind the candidate that is well prepared for this position? Why not? Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia will go down history as one of the best presidents that Ghana will ever produce. Let's just mark that on the wall, and it will happen.
Let's see how it goes. Mr. Jantuah, so when Tabitha was speaking, she mentioned that getting a flag bearer was needed to regroup the NPP. What going for choosing the flag bearer early, the fact that they feel Dr. Bawumia is the most marketed or the well-marketed candidate. How do you think this election, how important is this primary to the regrouping agenda of the NPP now?
Gemma, it is one thing electing a flag bearer, and it is one thing whether the flag bearer can win the country. Two separate things. I believe President Bawumia's Achilles heel is President Akufo-Addo. It's internal. Is President Akufo-Addo supporting his vice president? I don't think so.
How is that?
Is he? Is he?
It's time to respond. So
Okay,
Is
we'll
he?
respond to you.
Is he? In the last, what do you call it? Did he support President, Vice President?
We saw him on a number of campaign platforms
Yes.
campaigning for him.
Yes, but didn't he campaign for others too?
for which
I'm
Other
saying,
people-
I'm saying
which
that,
other
I'm
people?
saying that
others?
his Achilles heel is internal, and they need to solve that. Look, from the onset, when I heard they were going for election, and I said it on this platform, when you look at the devastating effect of the 2024 elections, I said all of those standing should lock themselves up in a room and sort out who they felt was best to stand. One person where they would now come and follow that one person and build confidence in the people of Ghana.
I know that can happen. It's a democracy.
Right.
I know it's a democracy. But looking at the worst state of the elections for the MPP, to be a good thing and everybody will support. Look,
But they
if it
admit
so
that
happens,
this is not the first time they are losing an election.
whatever
so
the case, no, it's the degree of loss. Has the MPP lost an election this way before? Tell me.
Please.
Have they?
The election of the former president John Agyekum Kufuor as against Rawlings, that also went very bad, but he came back again and then won the presidency. So
When-
the fact that they are going through this
Percentage terms when you're looking at
yes,
When-
they are
Even
going
got
through
lesser
this.
than what
Baumia did.
Baumia got.
You said between President Kufuor and who?
Rollins.
We are talking internal. That is my operative word. Internal. Internal in the sense that, Madam, when you were talking, I was quiet.
Sorry, Mr. Jantuah, I'm listening to you.
Internal.
Please.
No, he's my brother,
Please,
so I can interject from time
please.
to time. He knows I can
We
interject.
will have to close within 5 minutes.
You know,
5.
you know,
Yeah, you have
why
to give us
don't
time
let
to
him-
this
you know, Madam, don't do that to me, I beg you.
Mr. Jantuah, I'm listening.
Please say it.
You know, body language. You know,
Professor.
if it so happens that after the election, there's no katakata between those who lost, creating a huge challenge. Confusion, and they really would come together. Then maybe.
They would have 3 years at least. 3 years to do
And
that.
do you know the
before
katakata
election.
that can happen within those 3 years?
No, when they have the primaries in January.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, I'm saying that when the primaries happen in January, the leader is elected. If there are any issues, they can resolve it before the election.
Hopefully. Look, people's personal interest is in there. And people have spent money. So to be up to whoever wins to be able to bring everybody together. The question is, will they be able to? And I don't understand why we're talking about NDC here. What has NDC got to do with your elections? They will have their own problems. It's not your concern whether they have problems in their party or they don't have problems in their party. At the present moment, CPP is nowhere to be found. Is anybody talking about CPP? Nobody. So I talk about concentrate on your own and make sure you strengthen your own. First of all, they need to be able to win back most of the constituencies they lost. That's a huge thing for any leader. Will they be able to? And if it so happens that the NDC also brings a formidable person, you think it's going to be easy? That you sit here and say, oh, we are going to win 2020. That's what they said the last time round. Did they win? So be cautious with how you step. Gradual. Be cautious with how you step. Gradual. Because where the arrow will end is 2028. When you throw a javelin, it goes through the air, and that is what they're going through now. It goes through the air till it hits a certain mark. And that mark is 2028. Concentrate on how you build confidence within the people, for the people to trust that you can do something good. Because your last government devastated the country,
How
and people haven't forgotten.
Is that going to be?
It's not going to be easy. They've got to build confidence again. It's not easy building confidence.
Are they doing it now?
With the devastation, I don't think so. The devastating that people went through, if for nothing at all, DDEP, that has never happened in this country before. The fact that we weren't able to pay our debts, that has never happened in this country before. You think people will forget? And listen, yes,
It's happening before.
yes.
Look.
You see, they have to be able. To make sure that they can gather people together for people to believe back in them. At this particular moment, I don't see where Ghanaians are saying, oh, where we are today, MPP, where are you? And yes, it's 10 months. It's only 10 months.
Right.
Probably in the next probably in the next 2 years. Probably in the next 2 years. Because whatever election will be fought on President Mahama's report. The same way the 2024 elections was on President Akufo-Addo's report. You see, the challenge with Dr. Bawumia was that he was part and parcel of that team. And he cannot take himself out of decisions made there. And it will come to haunt him. So he should be prepared to handle the situation there and also be able to prepare to get the constituencies that they lost back. And it's not going to be an easy feat because it will need money. Where's that money going to come from?
Right, Christopher Abe on Facebook says Ghanaians still remember DDP. The Akufo-Addo, the Nanado's hangover will be the NPP main problem. How does DNB distance himself from that? Kwame Jantuah says you trust this government at your own risk. They simply cannot do anything about this mining stuff. Judge Mandia says Mr. UTAG Vice President, your association was part of the problem in regards to the Galamsey fight. UTAG is also self-centered in regards to their interests. Christopher Abe says all they do is talk all day. In fact, the NDC was even financed by the Galamseyers, as alluded to by Joseph Yamin, the NDC national organizer. And that's our show for tonight, this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook.
You didn't let me respond to Professor Jantuah.
I'm not Professor. Please don't get me into trouble.
will come.
I'm not Professor.
We don't have
please.
time. Kwame Jantuah is a lawyer and member of the CPP. Tabitha Ayiiiah is a member of the NPP National Communications Team. Alfred Thompson is part of that team as well. And Dr. Ebenezer Teye Amanor-Lartey is a senior lecturer at the Political Science Department of University of Education, Winnipeg. He's also the National Vice Chairman of UTAG. My name is Gemma Appiah. Next week, Wilberforce Asari will be here.
Gemma.
So you want to...
No, stay.
You want to tune in next week.
Gemma, stay.
Wilberforce. My name is Gemma Appiah once again. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.